Yeah, man.
Oi, oi! Good Monday. How are we all doing? Listen, we've had to endure a bit of a stinker over the weekend, didn't we, everyone? And by that I mean, for the 21st time yet again, guess what happens? We have to endure watching another club crest lift up that Premier League trophy. Absolutely devastating again, and I'm absolutely fed up with it. And there'll be a couple more people coming on tonight. But while we're here, Jezza, what's your thoughts, man? Happy Monday, by the way. Hope you're well. What do you think of that nonsense, mate?
Well, I wouldn't say it's nonsense. Credit to Liverpool. Well done, Liverpool. You know, they earned it. They've done it. 20th league title for them. You've got to respect it. We basically gave it away in November, and they took it. And yeah, I've got no problem with it, because at the end of the day, they're a great club, great side. But at the end of the day, Arsenal proved once again just not good enough with this manager.
Yeah.
And it's all going to come out in the wash very quickly, in my belief, because we've, as December said, 13 draws. And that half of those were from a winning position. Winning position, and we threw it in the bin. So what does that say to us, gentlemen? What does it say to us? Yeah, I keep getting told that we go again, and this is no, it's not go again. It is unsustainable. Yeah, Liverpool came in, new manager, didn't spend 20 million, got it over the line. We did it with Klopp's team. Okay, counter argument then. Counter argument. This manager of Arsenal's won one trophy with Emery's team. Don't care what anybody says. You can argue as much as you like with me. He won it with Emery's team. And how many of those players are left from that Emery team?
Yeah, just Tierney. And Saka, but he didn't really participate in that, did he?
Can anybody name them?
Yeah, Martinelli maybe. Yeah, just the three. But again, Martinelli didn't appear in it. Saka.
Yeah. Let's put the facts on the table. Under Emery, right? Young Martinelli, 15 starts. I think it was 13 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I say enough.
Yeah, that's madness. Well, do you know what, Jez, and I will say this again sort of very soon, but if that's the angle that you've gone in with that, you will very, very, very much enjoy the little spreadsheet that I've got coming up, because everyone knows I like doing that so people can see the facts about it. So Jez, you going into that, you will enjoy what I've got, and so will Shane as well. Shane, big up, man. How did you feel about having to endure another club crest for the 21st time in a row, doing this with the Premier League?
Yeah, well, listen, I'm big up for having me on, Aaron, and big up to Jezza. It's always a pleasure to share a screen with him. Yeah, I'm on the same as yourself and any real fans who were gutted by that. The fans that were tweeting out and YouTube and whatever else they were doing, saying, "Oh, I didn't even know Liverpool were playing," or "I didn't watch it." As we discussed before, that's because it doesn't mean as much to you, I'm afraid. You know what I mean? It means a lot more to us. That's why we're gutted when it happens. As Jezza said, 9 leads we threw away in the league alone to drop points. I did a little spreadsheet on my thing before that Arteta's thrown away more leads in his tenure than Wenger did in his first 7 full seasons. You know what I mean? And You know, Wenger came in and he did a rebuild, an actual rebuild. You know what I mean? Of course, he had the core defense there, but he changed everything else about the club. Proper rebuild. So he had to endure that. He had to endure foreign players getting used to the league and things like that. And he still didn't throw away leads. You know what I mean? So the excuses for me ran out a long time ago. A long time ago. And I'm tired of them. And I think we all are tired of them. Well, we all are on this side are tired of them because it's the same thing over and over again. It's the same excuses. It's the same, you know, oh, we've had injuries, oh, we've had red cards, oh, we've had all these things that are actually his fault. And it keeps coming back down to him. And everything that you look at that's gone wrong, it can all go back to him, but he deflects it all the time. He deflects everything away like a true narcissist. Everything's everybody else's fault. Everything is, you know, circumstance, and it's never this, it's never that. I only sort of got bits of his press conference on Northside's channel today, but I'm pretty sure he didn't congratulate Liverpool. You know what I mean? I don't think he mentioned them. You know, so that shows what a man he is to me. Because, and I'll finish on this. Salah on the pitch was asked, "What's the difference between Klopp and Slot? What are the little differences?" And he said something that just, for me, it confirmed everything I've been saying this season about this manager. He said, "Oh, he doesn't make us track back as much." And I said, "But there you go. When people are talking about why doesn't Salah get injured, they're so lucky Salah doesn't get injured. I always say, because he's not forced to track back. About 80% of our wingers running is backwards. So they're going to get hamstrings. Our full front line got hamstrings, 2 of them grade 3. You know what I mean? So the reason that doesn't happen to Liverpool is they're not being forced to track back all the time. I would take the 4 or 5 goals that we might concede extra from not tracking back as much to the 20-odd extra we'd score going forward when we have our full energy. But listen, I'm looking forward to getting into it. I'm looking forward to what you have to condemn this manager a bit more, because, like you said, these other sides seem to have to see it to believe it, and even then they don't. So, you know, you're fighting a bit of a losing battle, but at least here we take it all on board.
Yeah, man. Now facts, man. And before I bring Normski in as well, I did want to say, firstly, Northside, big up, brother, for the raid, my man. You know it, absolute legend, and big up to everyone that come as well. I will run through the chat once I've had a little chat with Normski, but there's just one little point I wanted to touch on there that you made, Shane, that I also made earlier with regarding to, you know, Salah not having to track back, etc., etc. With regards to the number 10s, who can name me one? Anyone on the panel? Anyone in the world class chat in here? Who can name me one elite world class number 10 throughout the history of football whose most sort of thing was tracking back? Who was well known for their tracking back? That was their best ability, tracking back. Anyone?
There isn't.
There ain't one. There ain't one, exactly. So Mikel Arteta, that's why Odegaard can't play there, but he's good at tracking back. He's supposed to be on creative spark, or he's good at tracking back. You know, and Guarneri won't play him there at number 10 because he don't track back. And it's just a little bit of something I had to say with it, because that annoys me so much. Because he wants everyone to run themselves into the ground. Absolutely run themselves into the ground. Number 10s shouldn't do that. When was one? One second there, I'll make it real quick for everyone. That person that don't exist. That number 10 don't exist. Because normal competent managers, one we haven't got, by the way, it doesn't operate that way. It expects you to run yourself into the ground. Northside's as well. Northside's a world-class chat. He's got there over there as well. I will be pulling up one of my infamous graphics, and I will be mudding Mikel Arteta, because, as you can see on the title of my show, and we will get into it very soon, how long does it take to win the Premier League? Oh, we'll tell you, because I've put up every single manager that's won it and how long it's took them to. So we will get there in a minute, and we'll just see how long it takes. Normski, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm good. How you doing, man? Big up to the channel, the chat, and the panel. That's what I was meant to say. Rewind. But yeah, big up to everyone, man. Yeah, man, it's all good.
Good to have you. What did you make of, just quickly before we sort of move on? So I will skim sort of into the press conference. Yeah. And then we'll get to my thing in a little bit. So that's how we're going to go. But yeah, what do you make again of 21 years in a row? We've seen another club crest lift the Premier League title. Always the bridesmaid.
Oh, yeah, absolutely gut wrenching. I decided on one of my other Arsenal chats to screen record Liverpool celebrating, and I've had a few texts back saying, "Please don't send me that." Because you know, it hurts. It absolutely hurts. 21 years you sit there and you see these guys standing in front of the cop end singing, we'll never walk alone or whatever the song they sing. And I'm like, what did we do? What did Arsenal do? Every year we're seeing a different side picking up the Premier League trophy. 21 years, yeah? So another 9 years before we catch Liverpool in not winning the Premier League for 30 years. We was taking the mick out of them.
Wow. That's mad.
Yeah. Look at, if anybody has said, Jez, if anybody has said in 2004, when we went invincible, right, somebody would have told us that we would not win the Premier League 21 years later. You would have said you're having a laugh. Yeah. But what's happened is that, doing the going unbeaten and all of that, and then we go and knock down Highbury to go into, the Emirates, and we'll, be able to compete with the likes of Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and all of those things. Well, it hasn't quite happened, has it? Yeah. Because for them, it's all about bums on seats. Yeah. And, finishing in the top 4, because that was what it was. Wenger came out and turned around and said, top 4 is a trophy. And everybody's jumped on the bandwagon. Now it's second place FC. We go again next year. Yeah. This year, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. 15 points off of Liverpool. Yeah. Who've won this league at a canter. Yeah. I read last night. I don't know if it was on the actual thing on Lee's thing last night. I think Aaron, you had gone by then. I can't remember, but obviously Shane would have heard. And we was looking at the Opta computer, and what the Opta computer said about the chances of Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool at the start of the season. Liverpool were the third in terms of them winning the Premier League. They were rated at something like 12%. Man City was up there with something like 83%. Arsenal was kind of slap bang in the middle, something like 12%. Yeah. As we slowly progressed, it got to January and things started to change, or December, things started to change. Well, as a matter of fact, the Opta computer actually said that Liverpool would be favourites to win the Premier League November the 9th. That's when it all changed. Yeah. Because we didn't do what we was meant to do. And it was slap bang between Man City losing to Brighton. Yeah. I remember because Man City were winning. They made some changes and we drew. Yeah. Right. And then Liverpool went on and did what they needed to do. But the craziest thing is that, we sit here and we look how did Slot do it in his first, year, as the first Dutch manager to win, a Premier League. How did he do it? Yeah. And he was talking about it. He was saying that he looked at the team, made one purchase of Chiesa and a goalkeeper that put on loan to Valencia. Yeah. Right. And all he said is to the team, right, we're going to do things differently because the previous manager, Klopp, he had these guys running. He looked at the injury crisis and said, right, we're going to make these guys stop running as much. Change it, little slight tweaks. Yeah. Look at Salah. Salah doesn't track back. Yeah, because he's got Robinson and he's got Trent doing the work. Because before they used to run up and down the overlap. He said, no, I want you to stay back and you freed Salah. Yeah. You got Gravenberch, who was a number 8. What did he do? Puts him in the number 6. McAllister. He moves Cody Gakpo over to the left, brings Diaz down the middle. Just slight changes. This is what you call a manager that knows how to manage his team, knows how to manage the expectation, knows how to manage them mentally, physically. Why do you think that they were one of the fewest to have in terms of injuries? I can't remember how many days they lost in terms of injuries, yeah, but it's obviously they're right down the pecking order when it comes to that. But Arsenal, what we got our guys doing is running up and down. Saka came out, didn't he? He said, well, the manager wants me to track back. He wants me to do defensive work, yeah? And that's why you got so many injuries, yeah? And then they want to turn around and say, top gooners want to turn around and say, the reason why Liverpool won this league? Because of luck. You don't go 38 games winning the league because of luck.
No.
It's not luck. It's not about, I can understand if you're in a Champions League, yeah, and we say it's a toss of the coin. As soon as you get to the latter part, it's a toss of the coin. But when it comes to playing 38, you have to be consistent. Liverpool only lost 2 games. 2 games, drew 7. We drew 13. 18 points of those were dropped from winning positions. Yeah, but they want to blame it on the refereeing decision. They want to blame it on Liverpool being lucky with injuries. Well, we had the fourth worst injury. The actual Brighton had the worst injuries. Yeah, but they're not saying anything about that. 2 years ago, were there anybody talking about injuries? Did anybody saying, oh, we were lucky with injuries? No. What we did is we bottled it because we haven't got the mentality to do that. And that's the story of our life. And so 21 years later, we're sitting here on this stream tonight saying, how long will it take us to win the Premier League? I'll leave it at that.
Let's be honest. Let's be fair. That league was done and dusted about end of November.
Yep.
You look at the points gap we had back in November, and we never got it back. So, all right, I'll ask everybody a question here. Anybody in the chat, doesn't matter, panel, whoever, doesn't matter, right? Where has been the improvement? Because I've heard people say, oh, we've improved. Where? We've got a bigger points gap between first and second now than we've had for the last 2-3 seasons.
Yeah. Well, I'll jump in with that, Jez. We haven't, mate. Yeah, we haven't. I mean, just the very fact on itself, we're 13, 15 points behind the leaders. It's funny when you always hear the top gooners, they always come out and they're always saying things like, we finished second from fifth. And then, we finished second 5 points behind, and then we finished second with 2 points behind. All right, well, if we finished second points this season and we finished 15 points behind, what's that then? Look, another thing I want to answer that with Jez as well is you'll remember about 2 or 3 years ago, Tomiyasu, I'm sure it was Ben White. I really need to fact check this. It was definitely Tomiyasu. I think it was Ben White and someone else came out and said, it's taken us 2 years to get used to Mikel Arteta and his tactics, but we are finally getting used to it. So, okay, the statement from that is 2 years. Takes 2 years. Takes 2 years to get used to the way he plays. Why does he change his system every year then? If it takes a team 2 years to get used to your system, why do you change it every single year? If anyone can answer that for me, I'd be absolutely staggered to find out the answer. It's 1 step forward and then 2 back. I don't understand it. We are all right this season.
I think that's an absolute bullshit comment. I'm not disrespecting you, Aaron. I think that's probably a bullshit comment. It's never actually said, because we know professional footballers can adapt. If they're any good, can adapt within weeks.
Look at Liverpool, Jez.
If you went in as manager tomorrow morning, right, and you've got a game plan, and you said, right, this is what we're going to do, boys. This is how we're going to shape up. This is what we're going to do. This is your team format. They're professionals. That they can adapt to that within 2 weeks. Let's go back in time, shall we? Shall we go back in time here, gentlemen?
I love it. We will do.
A certain George Graham. Nobody respects the man, but when he joined Arsenal from Millwall, right, his first remit, and I remember the interview, we need to start in the defence.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get this defence tight. And he manipulated the defence. He got the players he wanted. And after a month, that defence was pretty much unbreakable. He then, if you remember, right, the 89 season, if you remember it, he then turned around and said, the midfield's not good enough. I need to shape this up. I need to bring a new player. And he did. And you remember, anybody remember the player he brought in? Everybody remember?
In 89.
89. Do you remember one player? Key player.
Well, he had Rocastle, Davis, Merson.
That's what I was thinking. I thought it might have been Merson.
Was it a centre back?
No, they can't shoot it. No, it was a central midfielder.
No, No, you missed it. He brought it. Mickey Thomas was a pretty
Mickey
up-
Thomas.
Oh, I
Mickey
didn't know he was in '89. I thought he was a leader before.
He brought him in. He also, quite correctly, Mike, he brought in Kevin Richardson.
Yeah.
As the backup, right? Let's be honest, within a month, Arsenal were top of the league.
Mm.
So I don't believe this bullshit. I'm not having a go at you, Aaron. I don't think,
No, I'm just relaying what was said. Yes.
I think it's a bullshit comment. Whoever said that, I don't believe it. I think it's bollocks because this manager, George Graham, made 3 changes in that squad, and Arsenal went top of the league. Then we went on. We were competing. We were fighting against, again, the best team in English football at the time, Liverpool. No question. You can't argue about that. Nobody can argue about it. They were the best of the best. I'm not saying right now that Liverpool are the best Liverpool team I've ever seen. I'm not. I've seen far better.
Yeah.
But the difference is here, what they've done, they set out, Slot put out a situation and said, this is what we're going to do. He spent, 15 million, is it?
One player, one player.
15 million? Right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. 15 million pounds. But at the end of the day, what he's done, he set out a situation, a tactic that has rubbished. And we've still got to go and play him yet, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Second game to the end of the season. I think.
Made it, whatever.
So we've got to give them a guard of
Last
honor,
game.
right? So at the end of the day, you know, I'm not going to be one of these narcissistic people. I'll give them credit because they won it. They kicked us out of it back in November.
Mm-hmm.
And we were 6 points, and then we've ended up, 14, 15 points now. Yeah? Am I right in saying
15, yeah.
15,
yeah.
So where's the improvement?
It's not there.
Where is the improvement? And the
There
thing
just
is,
hasn't been one. Go on, Jez.
the other point I'm just going to say, right?
Yeah, I'll come to the chat after you make it, Jez.
Liverpool have gone on and walked it. They've gone on and walked it. Yes, Man City haven't been in it. Man United, Chelsea. We can go and that's their problem. What the big problem is for us is Arsenal have not moved on. Because, gentlemen, why? We didn't invest to strengthen the squad. We let players go that are blossoming out of the clubs. ESR having a great life. Wow, what happened there then? Why didn't it work at Arsenal? Why?
He's been given a proper chance, Jez.
And before I shut up, right?
Yeah.
You have to look at one common denominator.
Mm-hmm.
These players can leave and go to other clubs and do very well. They're not winning big trophies or anything like that. They're doing very well. Apart from Nketiah, pile of shit, who proved against us in the Palace game. But why have they left the club and done well? And we haven't done. We haven't moved on. And we're now in a worse position, points-wise. I'm talking points, than we were this time last season.
Mm-hmm.
You have to ask the question, why? And I don't think enough people do ask that question. Why? Because this manager, again, has failed. Out of the FA Cup, right? Yeah, Man United, out against Newcastle. Good luck to them. They went on to win it, and fantastic result. Well done. I'll always praise you for that. And Liverpool gone on and won the Premier League, and we've still got, 5 weeks to go?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, that's madness. No, listen, I will come to the chat now. But yeah, no, Jez, that's absolute fact, mate. It's frustrating. Did you know what as well was the bigger frustrating thing for me is just the fact that we're just going to be here next season saying the same old shit as long as this manager is still in charge of this football club. I do have to say big up to the chat as well. Don't forget, like and subscribe. We're on numerous streams here. We're streaming to a couple of sites. I'll put everyone's link in the description, so don't forget to do that. I've also put them in the chat, so don't forget to share the love across all these multiple channels. And we've got some legends in the building. Big up, Vigilante, the Assembled. How you doing? We've got Ace's Topside Highbury. Big up, brother. Cheers for coming along, man. We've also got a bit of Woodcock in the building. Big up, brother. Alejandro, how you doing, my man? We've got Donna Potts as well. Oh, I said Donna for the first time. Because my old dear's name's on it. Just feels strange. But Miss Potts, big up to you. Yeah, young Des, how you doing, man? Yeah, the Matrix has got Lee Gunner, Dazza, Smoke Tube, big up to you, my friend. BBK in the building, bit of Yusuf. Pro, my man, big up to you, brother. Pro Mice, man. Hope you are doing well, my geezer. Bike Thieves in the building. We got a bit of AK4 Pete as well. Jumped in. Jason Carter, my brother. Connor, I see your text. I just can't open it just yet, my friend. We've got Gunner 81. How you doing, my man? Unique in the building as well, who's also starred. He's been a member of Jez's for 13 months. Big up, man. I'm sure Jez will massively appreciate that. Watching Liverpool win the Premier League really hurt. I wish it was us winning the Premier League. Yeah, man. Many Arsenal fans will never understand this. Brother, it's painful, man. It's painful. That's why I wanted to just sort of quickly open with it. You know what I mean? Because it's fresh. You know what I mean? It hurts. We're the only fans that pay the price, though. Because all of these top gooners, they woke up in the morning, they couldn't give a toss. They were just like, well, on to the next one. They don't care. But I guarantee you this, world-class real fans, like every single one of you, the 110 in the building, by the way, every single one of you, 110 superstars are painful. They're hurting and feeling the pain. Just like all of these excellent panelists that I've got on here. We all feel the pain, man. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got AFCNL big up in the building and Joseph Connor as well, man. Thank you very much for being here, Sandeep, brother. I'll only do a couple more because we do want to move on. Ian Macaulay, brother, how you doing? We've got a bit of Saeed in the building. And we've got Wesley. How you doing, brother? I will stop us sort of around here. So I've got a little point of reference for my chat. Yeah, man. So let's have a little move on to this this press conference, yeah, because I won't spend too much time on it because the main attraction is going to be coming in about half an hour. So for everyone tuned, all 111 of you now, stay in the building because we've got how long does it take to win the Premier League, and we've got a lovely little spreadsheet to prove it. Yeah. So we're going to go to this little knobhead. Let's have a little look. What's he starting off with? What nonsense is he going to say? Yeah, when he feels as if it's the biggest game of his life. So it does, and you sense it. Oh, you sense that energy. He loves it, doesn't he? All of these lovely little words, enthusiasm, and it's something unique. Probably one of the biggest games of the Emirates since we built it. Hold on, one second. Can someone just take over? My daughter's asking for me. 1 second.
Yeah. Let's see what he has. Get ready for a lot of energy situations and things like that. He loves his buzzwords. So it's if he feels like it's the biggest game of his life, it does, and you sense it. You sense the energy. There's one, the enthusiasm that it's something unique. Probably one of the biggest games the Emirates has seen. We built it, and yeah, you didn't build it, mate. You weren't even there. And yeah, full of energy, enthusiasm. Can't wait for the game tomorrow. It's typical Arteta, where he just dances around questions all the time. He never gets to the point. I don't think he's ever answered a question straight up, and his press conference actually do my head in. But then
deflected. That's all he ever does, Wayne. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're right, because he just dances around it, Jesse. He just dances around the answer every time. And what was he asked then? And what it would mean to win the European Cup? Now that should be a simple answer. It would mean everything. We've never won it, but he'll prattle on, yeah, especially with the circumstances. This is another one because he's going under injuries and stuff like that. Like Normsky touched on, like we're as if we're the only team to ever have injuries. It's infuriating because of the circumstances that we had this season and how we have overcome a lot of issues, all caused by you, mate. All the injuries are caused by you, and the red cards they bleed down from ill discipline, the challenge, and the fact that the team here is one of the 4 best teams in Europe. We're not, pal. So I don't know where you're getting that from. And it tells you about the mindset, the spirit, and how much we really wanted. So, yeah, we are making history. No, we're not. We've been in a final before. Unbelievable. It's the same nonsense with them all the time.
Sorry as well about that, geezers in the chat. My as you may have seen if you was watching Lee's last night, my daughter was not feeling 100%. She just come downstairs just very, very quickly. So yeah, just been giving her some daddy love, some TLC for her, bless her little cottons. Shane, thank you very much for taking over. Absolute legend, man. Yeah, he's going on about creating an even better atmosphere than we did against Madrid, which I must say, to be fair, in that stadium, it did peter down a little bit after, 15, 20 minutes. I think naturally a little bit. But largely it was pretty good. Before as well, it was very good. And they're saying tomorrow more. I told them I'm not exaggerating when I said, listen, this is so Mikel Arteta. Look, bring your boots.
It annoys me when he asks for it, though, Aaron.
I know, yeah. Bring your
this is
t-shirts.
unbelievable.
Let's all play every ball together. Come on, man. That's such a cringy thing to say, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bring your boots. And do you know what? But there'll be people like that knobhead Julian from AFC that probably will go in his shin pads and boots to just prove a point. You can see it. For anyone who don't know, the same dickhead that pre-bought Stay Humble t-shirt. What is that all about? Absolute moron. But yeah, there will be people. I bet you any money someone's going to go in there with old molds or AstroTurfs on just to prove a cringy little point. We want to do something special. Well, hopefully there's something a bit more special than that plastic bag that you put on my seat last time. That was just ridiculous. They're trying to be a club that's all eco-friendly now, and they put 60,000 plastic bags over the fucking seats. But you have to have a paper straw now instead of a plastic one. If anyone can make that make sense to me, I mean, like I'm all ears again. I mean, what was that all about? And if it feels the weight of the history, you feel it, especially if we fortunately, a lot of people that we've worked in the club for many, many, many years. So it tells you how unique and beautiful it is. Why is everything so beautiful? I've read through this as well. Everything's always just superlative, isn't it?
It's a play on words. It gets the old, whatever it is, the indulgent things in the old back of the head.
Isn't it?
I'm about to put my Matrix background on. So listen,
get it on.
You need to plug in for this, Norms. You need to plug in for this.
Yeah, I've got to put it on, man. I can't be on.
Man.
I've been reading this. I've got to put it on, mate. Sorry, I'm in the Arteta Matrix now. I'm here, mate. I'm in there.
Go on, the boy. That's it. We are into the digital world with Normski, man. And if you can take anything from Aston Villa's approach to PSV, rather, let's get it right the third time. Obviously, you learn a lot from every game. It's different. I think the context.
There's another one.
Yeah, they all want the context. And the results from both games are very different. Same with Liverpool. But it takes a lot from it. That's the main sort of thing. But it's always fine margins, isn't it? The margins. That's always a fine margins. He doesn't actually say anything, which is why I'm not reading the whole thing out, because he's just talking a load of bollocks. It's all about them margins. Connection. Connection. I know, yeah. But as long as they've got good connection, though, of experience, 100%, hopefully it'll be much better, because it's very improvable still. Building your own story. Everything's a story, isn't it? And having experiences together, though. That's it, all together. It's all about them experiences together. I think it's going to make this look, it's the relationship and the connection. What is this all about? Like, it sounds like a fucking what's that 50 Shades of Grey novel, doesn't it? Every time he talks about football, it does though, doesn't it? Like, relationship and that connection. We have a massive opportunity as well. What is it all about? Can we grab that one? That's crap. Playing the second leg away from home. Yep. He's saying about the Bernabeu being the biggest test that you can have, and to an extent, I actually agree. Especially when you go there and you've got all of that history. You're not just fighting the history, the fans. You're probably fighting all the refs. I actually thought, it was absolutely fantastic. And I want to bring one of you boys in on this as well. I'll bring sort of Jez in as well. And if he ever has justified the price tag for Declan Rice, do you reckon he has, Jez? Because he actually goes on to say something quite important here. Hopefully, we win a lot of trophies together. Hopefully, when we win a lot of trophies together, we can justify that we ownership and everyone's happy. I think basically what he's saying is, and it actually makes sense, Jez, from Mikel Arteta for a change. I think he's saying the price tag will be justified when he wins trophies. And that's actually right, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, well, yeah, no, that's a bit of a bullshit comment. At the end of the day, come on. Yeah, you paid the money, right? So how can you justify anything if you don't win? Sorry, but if you pay £105 million for a player, and Declan Rice, I think in the last 6 weeks, I think he's been excellent.
Yeah.
That justifies to a point, but it doesn't justify it if you don't win. Because at the end of the day, he's bought these players, He's brought those players in. And it's down to him and only him to actually get the best out of the players, playing him in the right positions, getting the tactics right. So it's a bullshit comment, man.
Yeah. No, that's it.
I
He's
never-
got to win,
I never-
he's got to win things, though, hasn't he?
I never saw any of these comments with Emery or Wenger.
Yeah.
Right? When
Yeah, you
Wenger
just don't get
spent
it.
money on players, he never tried to justify, oh, well, we've spent this much on a player, therefore we need to do this. It's bollocks. It's bullshit. This manager is grabbing at anything he can grab at because he's lost. He knows if he don't win this fucking Champions League, he's in deep doggy doo-doo. And he knows there's somebody sat behind him breathing down his neck. At yet, gentlemen, have we ever seen Berta and Arteta at the same press conference?
Yeah, not once. Not once.
He doesn't mention him. Yeah.
He does when he's passing off the contract thing about Partey and stuff. And Jezza made a very good point there about these sort of little sound bites that he drops, you know, about Rice's money. And he did one there a while ago where he said, some people will have a different idea of failure. You know, someone said, if you don't win anything this season, is it a failure? Oh, well, some people's vision of failure is different, you know, with different circumstances. And he danced around, right? What he's doing is he's laying all the little slabs down for when he falls on his arse. And he's said enough that the top gooners will, you know, we've said this before. You repeat the same things over and over again. They start to repeat them. You know, they start to repeat them like, oh, Ben White's been out all season. He's been saying that recently. Ben White played the first 3 months, but now he says all season. You know, he mentions the red cards every single press conference. He mentions the injuries every single press conference. He keeps saying it. Another one that he says all the time is, we play every 3 days. We play every 3 days. Says it about 3 or 4 times the press conference. We play every 3 days. Like we're the only team to play every 3 days. Any top team plays every 3 days. If you're in a European competition, you play every 3 days. But he says it over and over and over. And then these people go, oh my God, how has he done this? How has he managed to get a second and into the semis? He's a genius. So he's just trying to cover himself for when he does fall. He's trying to lay the slabs down that it doesn't hurt as much. And he'll have his little pat to the next season and to see out his contract. But yeah, look, that's just what much as I said, and he's spot on. He lays these little things down, and it's all a game to him. He's just manipulating people. He's manipulating weak-minded people.
You do. We was talking the other day on what you do in your part-time thing. You know, we were outside of what you do on the street. You know about protagonists, don't you? You know about what protagonists.
Yeah.
You're writing something. Yeah, it's about that main character, and as far as I'm concerned, he is the main character. Yeah, it's all about it. Yeah. Everything revolves around him. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's like, I mean, just by the way, I might be wrong. Has he congratulated Slot?
No, I don't think he does in the whole press conference.
No, he don't.
Doesn't congratulate him? Well, you see Pep there, you know, done the dutiful thing, you know, got through to the finals but said, look, you know, congratulate Slot, you know, doing a great job. You know, come out and say it, man.
Nor did Wenger. Wenger never congratulated.
Because they're horrible losers.
I don't expect a manager to congratulate a winning team. In fairness, I don't expect that because Wenger never did it to Ferguson. So that's a by the by. But the fact remains, what we have to go back and look at again is the failure. Let's not look at this bullshit press conference. What we should be looking at, right, is how we failed again.
Yep. And it is failure.
And it's all down to this manager. He didn't do the right things he should have done. Don't forget, 6 weeks ago, he was saying, oh, well, we haven't got the squad.
Yeah, but he has the last say on transfers.
I remember Lee Gunner taking into part on that on a stream. Well, you're the fucking manager, mate. You had the opportunity. You didn't spend the money in the right way. You're such an arrogant piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right? You've done this. But at the end of the day, People said to me, "Oh, what if he wins the Champions League?" I'll say, "Well done, mate. Go and do it again next year. Win the Premier League."
Yep.
I'll applaud you. I'll applaud you and say, "Well done, well done. We've never won it. We've never won it. Well done, fantastic, brilliant." Oh, you can't do that, Jez. You're an Arteta outer. I will do what the fuck I like. I was a Terry O'Neill outer. I was on the protests, get him out. Right at the end of the day, he got us the 4 cup finals and won 1. But why did we not win them all? Because of lack of investment. And this is exactly the same. And we did it exactly after he did the double in 71, beg your pardon. And we nearly got relegated in 74. Lack of investment. This is Arsenal. We are too complacent with the wrong people. And at the end of the day, we've done it again, and we've done it again. We were lied to when we moved to the Emirates. I didn't fall for that bullshit. I never fell for it.
Yeah.
I knew what was going. I knew what was coming. I've been here too many years watching this club. I knew this was bullshit, and it's going to happen again and again and again. And here we have the nice Mr. Arteta that will go along with the get along gang. Well, Mr. Arteta, you better fucking win this, fella, or you're down the road. And if he doesn't go down the road, if he fails, guys, if he fails to win the Champions League and he still gets another season, disgrace.
Yeah, well, we can all see that happening 100%. And do you know what, as well, as I want to couple some of the things that you said here with this stat, I love using, by the way, and will continue to use because it's relevant always. Since he won the FA Cup, Jez, so when we're sort of asked, this is a type of Arsenal fan we all are, there or thereabouts. When we make a decision on a manager or whatever, it's not just based on the last game or any sort of negative personal thing towards him or whatever. It's usually based on of how he's performed over a set amount of time with the tools that he's had to use. Well, that's certainly at least how I do it. He's had 5 years and a half years, actually, but 5 years now and having full transfer windows to assemble a squad, his choice, his signings, over half a decade. And he hasn't done that. Since he won the FA Cup in 2020, this man has entered into 19 competitions and 18 of them consecutively in a row, 18 in a bloody row, he has failed. If he doesn't win the Champions League, that will be 19 consecutive competitions this man has entered and failed. He's failed because he hasn't won them. It's not the Olympics. There's no silver medal. There's no bronze medal. There's no wooden spoon. You just get fuck all if you do not lift a trophy. It's as simple as that. And I'm actually with Jez. I want him. He has to go. He has to go if he doesn't win it. But my problem is, and like what Ian said up there, it weren't what he just said there. He made another comment. And this is the biggest problem we've got, Ian, mate. And everyone in the chat, well, class, don't forget, like and sub. All the links are in the chat as well as the description. The biggest problem we have are too much idiots that are buying into this manager. Way, way, way too many idiots, mate. This club is supported by a absolute mass amount of morons on a ridiculous level. And until some of them either piss off or change their way of thinking, the Cronkies are going to go, oh, good job. We won't get anywhere. There's no pressure coming from Arsenal other than us. And it's just not enough. It's frustrating, man. It pisses me off, boys. I'm not going to lie, man. Like, I don't know where we go from it. And that's why I hope at least that when we get Berta in, it's going to be sort of some form of change where we all know Mikel Arteta is going to be in this football club on the 1st of August, 1st of September. We know that. We just unfortunately do know it. What I want is him to look at that transfer window and hopefully Bert's had a say in it, so it's good. I hope that. But then I want him to have a little look at how we've performed in the first 10 league games. And if it's not good enough, if we're already 5 points behind, hopefully not every single fucking winner like Man City and Liverpool, hopefully he looks at Kroenke and goes, nah. He's had probably about 200 million now to rectify the crap that he had last summer. He's also had the first 2-3 months of this league. We ain't going nowhere. The football's still shit. The results ain't resulting. Yeah, you got to get him out because he bullied Edu, and I don't think he's going to get away with that with
You see,
so we'll
Aaron,
just have to wait and see. Go on, Shane.
I don't know, mate. You know, for the first time, I'm starting to think that there is a chance that if he doesn't win the Champions League, that Bertha might pull the trigger. I don't fully think it, but for the first time, I'm getting a little bit of a feeling that he might, because like the stuff that we pointed out every week here, the wage bill and the how thin the squad is, and you know, and I've mentioned this before, we have the second highest wage bill with the smallest squad. You know what I mean? So if you average it up, we'd have the highest paid. If we got the 5 players to catch up the City, if you give them all 100 grand a week. But anyway, I don't think he will. Now, I haven't fully gone over, but I do get a feeling at first. For some reason, I've started to get a feeling that he might pull the trigger on him, or give him, say, look, it's either you walk or we'll pull the trigger. We'll pay you off, but you can even have the dignity of saying that you want to move on or whatever. I don't fully think it will happen, but I've started to get a bit of a hint. And, you know, on the thing that Ian said there about the fans, you know, that there's so many idiots. I had AK4 Pete, and big up to AK4 Pete. He's a top lad. He was in my chat today, and he's a City fan. And he said, you know, he said something about Arsenal. He said, I'm not getting at you, Shane. I just hate your fan base. And I said, listen, mate, they do my head in as well. You know what I mean? It's not, you can say that if you want, because 90% of this fan base do my head in. It's the 90% that are ruining it for the rest of us. You know what I mean? So, and that's that. I pointed at that comment out by Topside there. It's a really, really good comment. Arteta just talk about himself. He just does talk about himself. But, you know, that thing with Bertha, I don't know. I just get the feeling that he's looking around and he is not happy with what he sees. And he's probably thinking, why will we waste this so-called war chest on a manager who can't use these players? Wouldn't it be better to use 40 million of it to get rid of them? Get in a manager, get in a couple of frees and build from there. Maybe I'm just hoping more than anything, but I do, for the first time ever, I have a slight feeling that maybe this summer it could just all heat up very quickly if we go out and the stories will start coming out quickly. But I probably that's probably more in hope than you know, being real. But that's I've just had that feeling recently. I felt the need to say it. I've just had that feeling recently.
I mean, I'd have to agree with Shane there. I think it's more of hope. But I think when you look at it, the bigger picture, the context of the whole thing, and what Arteta's had to spend, you know, 750 mil with a squad that, you know, can't get it over the line. You know, as a sporting director, and as I said, Josh Kroenke, you know, these guys are playing. We can't turn around and say that these guys are not putting money into the club. They are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had the people blaming them for not, you know, spending in January and saying, no, they take the blame away from Arteta and put it onto the owners. But these guys have spent 750 mil or put that money into the club. So you can't turn and say that he hasn't had the money to spend. The fact is, he can't get this team over the line. And now you're going to go again. People want to say it's not a rebuild. It is another rebuild, because by the time you let go of all the players that come back from loan, Jorginho's going. I mean, the Partey situation that might happen the way he stays. But there's a number of areas of a position that we need to make sure that we address. The right-sided centre back. We haven't addressed that. We have not addressed that. You're looking at the left-hand side. Trossard's likely to go. Martinelli's kind of hanging in here. I personally think we need another midfielder. I said 2 midfielders, actually. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think Moreno is good enough in that position. Currently, what he's doing up front, he's doing a job for us. But eventually, you know, I mean, he's going to have to be moved back in that position, because we are looking at a striker. We're going to need to have a striker. What happens with Havertz? He ain't going to drop Havertz, is he? So what's going to happen? There's lots of questions and stuff that needs to be answered. And Bert is sitting down there, and he's sitting there, as I like to famously say, with the cheese wire. And come the summer, if it's not going the way it is, he's going to go and talk to Josh, the Godfather, all right, and then the great Godfather, and say, "Yo, do you need me to do the job?" We'll see what happens after that. You know what I mean? But
You know what? I'm going to bring this next on to Jez, but before I do, we got 122 in the building. First off, thank you very much. I've just noticed I'm 10 subs away from 700. My link's in that chat, man. Get them up, man. I reckon we can get to 700 in this stream, man.
Surely,
on, boys.
surely.
What are we saying, man? A little cheeky 10 subs. Surely it's got to be done. Jez, I want to bring you in with this because this next bit in the press conference is obviously about on whether our win in PSG, sorry, wow, I'm messing that up badly, in October is relevant for tomorrow. I think we'll learn a lot from each other. It's important for us because at the time, they were one of the best teams in Europe and they were performing consistently. No, they weren't at the time we beat them in October, by the way. They have an excellent coach, indeed. They've been together for a while. To put yourself into that category, that level, to say they can actually, that we can compete and actually beat them, I think was good preparation for what was coming now. Jez, the question, man, do you actually think it has any relevance on it? Because I don't.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's a different stage, different game. Teams have moved on. Look, you can't sit here and say a game that was played last year is relevant to tomorrow night. It's not relevant. It's a different game. Different setup, different tactics, different players, how we approach the game. That's a bullshit comment there. Sorry, no. Look, you can play Crystal Palace last week like we did, and you can play them Sunday afternoon. It'll be a totally different game. So what's different in the Champions League? They, on the night, weren't the team, and we beat them. Come tomorrow night, they're going to be a different team, semi-final. So they're going to be very piped up for it, as hopefully Arsenal are. And it'll be a different performance. It's going to be the better of the two, teams. So no, I don't agree with that at all. Stupid question, to be honest.
Yeah, and let's get it right as well. If they had been at home, they might have beaten us. We were at home. It's not like you played them twice, like in the old group. We played them once, and we were at home. You know what I mean? So if they had been at home, they probably would have beaten us. And it was a different team. Their two best attacking players were out. One of them hadn't signed yet, and the other one was out. They hadn't gelled yet. The PSG had a sort of although they were unbeaten in the league, they were sort of grinding results, and the players weren't happy. They were again tracking back too much, actually. And they had a meeting with Luis Enrique, and he agreed to sort of meet them halfway and say, okay, we'll open up a bit more. I didn't think he's ready yet, but we'll give it a go. And they came to an agreement. So it's all about mentality. They're a much different team now, completely different team. It's not all about results. It's about how a team feels. Like, when City were in that sort of juggernaut stage, even when they didn't play that well, a lot of teams were beaten before they were beaten in the tunnel. That happened with Arsenal and the Invincibles. Yeah. Henry and all would say that. A lot of teams, they knew they had them in the tunnel. They knew just by looking at them, we've got this, because they've lost in the tunnel. So a lot of it is the momentum. It's how you're playing at the time. It's so many different factors. It's not just, okay, we beat them once, so now we're better. We're not, and all respect to Egal, we're not Egal here saying, Arteta's a better manager than Luis Enrique and Ancelotti because we beat them. I mean, he said that, and that's just you can't use logic like that. It's absolutely impossible to use. If that's the case, then Marco Silva's a better manager than Arteta. Emery's a better manager than Arteta. Every team that beat us this season, their manager's better. It doesn't work. Eddie Howe is 3 times better. So it doesn't work that way. But this will be a different team. It's also a different situation. It's a semi-final. Their players, a lot of them have dealt with this before. We haven't. A lot of their players played for Barcelona. A lot of their players have come from big top teams. There's not many of our players that have been in this situation. So that all comes into it. All that mentality comes into it. We have an 18-year-old at left back. He's not in his natural position. He only broke into the team a few months back. So all these things come in to be a factor that some people just don't take into account. This is not the same PSG team in any shape or form. 2 of their best players are back. 2 of their best players are on form. They don't have one single injury. They've won the league. You know what I mean? A lot of things have changed. So I don't get this whole, we've beaten them once, we've beaten them again. And if we go in with that attitude, we'll just get steamrolled. It's as simple as that.
100%. Before I bring in Normski as well, I just want to come to a couple of bits.
Can I just ask a question?
Go on. Yeah. Go on. Yeah. And then I'll come to the chat.
It's quite an interesting one here. In your chat, Victor 180 says, Jez, I know you only care about winning it, but look where we are in a semi compared when we were a laughingstock in Europe for a decade.
No.
What does that mean, mate? What, Victor? What does that actually mean? I
That
don't
means nothing.
understand what you're asking, because I really don't know what you mean.
It's this thing, Jez, that they have this thing that we were a laughing stock. This is their big thing, that we were a laughing stock, and Arteta stopped us being a laughing stock. If they were around in any part of the late 90s to the we were never a laughing stock.
What he's saying to me is, if I'm wrong, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me, please, if I'm wrong. What he's saying is, Jez, I know you only care about winning it. Well, obviously, that's why we're in it, to win it.
Mm-hmm.
But look at where we are in a semi compared to. So, okay, I'll get it.
I think he's saying we should be grateful. I think is what he's saying.
So you're quite happy. You're quite happy that we're in a semi-final. But if we don't win that semi-final and get to a final, you're happy. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
because
I'm saying we should be grateful for this.
That to me is bullshit. Because if you enter a competition, right, you enter it to win it. I don't enter competitions in anything that I've ever been involved in, and I'm not talking to this level. But any competition I've ever worked in, I want to win it. So I don't want to fail at the last hurdle. But this is Victor, what I think is the misconception with Arsenal. You're happy that we've got to a semi-final. And if we lose, it don't matter. That is failure. That is failure in life. Sorry, but that is failure. Because at the end of the day, you win it. And I don't accept failure. Because if Arsenal don't get to that final, I will go mental. I will say you're shit, you're rubbish.
Yeah, he should be getting to that final, shouldn't he? Like, it's just as simple as that. Like, we should be getting some tangible form of success. And, you know, Victor, 180, that for me isn't a semi-final, bud. We didn't get a trophy for beating Real Madrid. I bloody enjoyed it, bro. I did.
Victor. He has replied. Fair play to you, my friend.
Yeah, and he's replied with, I'm not saying.
But you have to accept the fact that the further you get in a competition each year, the better you get. No, you do not. I'll tell you for why, my friend. We got to a cup when we got to a Champions League final and lost to Barcelona. What year did we get to the next semi-final, my friend? Answer me that question. Tell me how he progressed. Come on, come back to me, please. I'm not having a go at you. I respect your comment. I really do. But come back to me. After we failed at in the Barcelona Champions League final, what year did we get back to a semi-final? Please tell me. Tell me how we progressed.
Because I think we all know. But yeah, like a Bet Victor, do you know what I mean? Or Pet Victor. You know, if you want to jump in with that, do you know what I mean? And let us know. I'll keep sort of on top of it. But just before we do, there's a couple of people I want to say hello to. One of them being Tony. Big up, brother. Thank you very much for stopping by, my friend. Appreciate it. Hammers Football TV. Go and like and sub to Tony, man. He does some fantastic West Ham content, man. He's got some fantastic shows, one of them being on a Sunday evening, and he's got another fantastic one that's also on a Wednesday evening. There's a couple of legends in the chat. Big up to Darren Sullivan, man. You know you're always welcome here, brother. Absolute pleasure. Sav's in the building now. It's a big up. Dad, I've questioned, and it's a Jez. I will give that to him a little bit later. But big up you for being here, Dad. Appreciate it as always. AFC is always here because he's everywhere. Big up to you, brother. Absolute legend. Dave, big up, brother. Big up the panel. Completely agree with Lee Gunner. Any competition, you either win or lose. Yeah, if you constantly lose, then someone must be accountable. Yeah, and like Jez said, and he made a fantastic point. Who's the common denominator? Well, it's Mikel Arteta. My boss, big up, mate. Aaron, you can be monetized with 500 subs, can you? I actually am monetized, but like when you get to 500, you only get the super chats and you only get the memberships. So they're live, and you have to go through all the process, which I've been accepted for. And then when you get the 1,000, I presume that because you've already been accepted and done all your forms and everything like that, then you just automatically get the adverts and all of that sort of side of things. But yeah, other than that, I went through the process about 2-3 weeks ago now. And yeah, it's all good. But yeah, cheers for the support as always, brother. Topside, big up to you, man. There are a couple of other questions I've starred as well. Sandeep, there's one in there from you I've starred. The Assembled, same for you, and Mighty Red if you're still in the building. There are a couple there, so I'm not forgetting about you, everyone. Big up to my absolute superstar chief moderator, Mama Flossie, as well in the building, man. You know, we all love a bit of Mama. She's world class, man. Absolute world class. And yeah, David Knowles, well, big up to you, man. You know it's time to change a manager when your own fans call for him to be sacked, but rivals call for him to stay. Yeah, man. That's it. And that's it. 88 people as well in here, but 132 across multiple channels. Make sure you are locking and subscribing to all the lads. They've been pinned and will be constantly pinned in the chat as well as the description. Share the love for everyone. So I've just seen we are 7 subs away from 700, man. So come on, do your thing. World-class chat, Elise chat, absolute Zinedine Zidane of a chat. And trust the process, Aaron.
Lone Star, I'm 10 away from 250, so let's get me to 250 as well.
Same, man. But Lone Star, I think, did you write in big up from Texas? Big up to you from Texas, but also no. I'm willing to trust some form of process on a new manager for maybe a year or 2. 2 years, maybe I can understand if they want to implement their stuff. Yes, not, blah, 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 blah. 5.5 years, no, my friend. Absolutely no. And big up Tone saying, yeah, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Yeah, come on, people, don't mess about, man. What are we saying here? My bad, I didn't see Normski. Yeah, they come and see you. Yeah, Norms, he's unfortunately been at the bottom there. Sometimes you get hit over. Yeah. he's a superstar Matrix geezer at the bottom. The Matrix geezer. I'll just run through a couple more of these little bits here. What I learned from our win in the PSG in October. I love the presence on how we went out there, our body language, the intensity, how aggressive we were. Played with real belief and determination. When you're facing big opponents, immediately you need to put that into context. Waffle, what a load of crap. Absolute load of crap. And how PSG and Madrid differ. It's more crap. Absolute more crap and deliver. It's crap. Where was the last little bit that I wanted to get to? I should be considered favourites to win the Champions League this year. I think this is at least a little bit. Well, I think you have to look at the history. We go back to the history. No. And guess what? We say this all the time. That's why we don't want Mikel Arteta here, because when we look at the history of 18 consecutive failures in a row in every competition, we look at history. And when we look back at history, we've got none. When he says no, go on, Jazz.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you good?
180's replied, and I respect you, mate. I respect you. But you haven't come back with the facts. I asked you a pure fact. I asked you one simple fact. That after Arsenal got to the 2006 Champions League final, how did we progress? You haven't answered it. You haven't answered it, my friend. And this is where you guys fail your exams at school. Because I asked you, when was the last time we got to a semi-final after that? And you didn't answer. You didn't answer because you don't know. And this is where you make yourself look stupid. And I respect you, my friend. I do respect you. But, you know, I generally think we are getting to the final and it's 50-50. But if he wins it, he shows that building from the ground up can do something we've never done in history. You're wrong again. You are so wrong factually there. So wrong. Because, you know, I'll ask you this one question, right? This one simple question. Yeah. When Arsenal got to their first European final, yeah, in 1969-70, the Intercities Fairs Cup, was it by invitation or by qualification? And if you can answer me that, then I know that you know what you're talking about. Because at the end of the day, what you're telling me is a little bit of nonsense here. Because, sorry, mate, and I'm not having a go at you, but, you know, you're talking a little bit of shit, to be honest. And I'm being nice tonight because normally, you know me, I will rip you a new one. I'm being very nice tonight. I'm in a good mood, and I'm being nice because my wife has told me
Be nice.
be nice because she said to me, my son, sadly, who went home tomorrow, he's still flying to New Zealand. He watches me in New Zealand, and he said to me, Dad, sometimes you are a bit wrong.
Big up, Jezza's son.
Fair enough.
Big up
that's
to the
not
son,
on.
Jezza.
Well, listen,
The
sorry,
son
can I
of the
jump in? 'Cause
Godfather.
the same guy has asked me a question. Can I jump on
Yeah,
that?
I
He said,
was
and
gonna comment that. Yeah.
the guy on the yellow panel
course.
with the yellow background, I don't know your name. Name's Shane. Excuse me, would you genuinely only sack me if we win the Champions League? Listen, mate, I'm Victor, and I'm the same as says. I respect you for coming in, having your opinion. If we do say stuff back to you, it's not abusive. It's just we're here putting it out. You're asking questions. That's what it's all about. And yeah, I would if it was me. I don't think I'd understand him staying another year. But if you've ever watched this before, we've gone through so many things that there is long-term damage done to this club from him in charge. The wage bill, the wrong players. We don't have it's the squad's not even near good enough. If the rest of the league hadn't fallen away this season, if City hadn't fallen away, if Newcastle hadn't started slowly, if United weren't United, we would not be anywhere near second. We've done all right in the Champions League, I'll give you that. But at the end of the day, once you get through the league stage, it is a cup competition. Anything can happen. And let's get it right. We've only won 2 knockout rounds. We're acting like we've steamrolled this thing. We still have a 2-leg semi against one of the best teams in Europe. And if he wins it, I understand sacking him would seem ridiculous. But I'm still on to me, the Champions League, I will go absolutely ballistic if we win it. Absolutely ballistic if we win it. I'll be the happiest man you've ever met, as hard as that might seem, looking at my sourpuss. But I will be the happiest man you've ever seen. But it will not take away from the long-term damage that has been done here. The squad's awful. Wages are too high. All the players are becoming injury-prone. Several of them need operations. All this stuff will, next season, and you mark my words here, and you can clip it and do whatever you want. If Arteta is our manager next year, we will not finish in the top 4. We will not finish in the top 4 next season. If he's our manager, regardless if we win the Champions League or not, regardless of how much money we spend, we will not finish in the top 4 next season if he's our manager. And as an Arsenal fan, as an Arsenal lifelong fan, and Jezza and Normsky and Aaron will attest to this,
yeah,
we look forward years and years and years. It's like raising kids. You want the best. If you can see a disaster around the corner, it's hard to enjoy what's happening in that moment. It's like when your kids get older and they're getting old enough to move out. You're building them up for that time over years, and you're scared when they're going out into the world. I'm scared of what will happen to Arsenal if he stays in charge. And even when we get a new manager, they'll have a lot of work to do because there's long-term damage done. So yes, I would, if I was in charge, I would be that ruthless and say, listen, mate, you've done it. Off you go. Here's 40 million and you've won a Champions League. It'll help you get another job, but we need someone in now to clear up this mess. So yeah, I would still sack him, mate. And I've just laid out hopefully enough points there as to why. But sorry about that, Aaron. I just wanted to get that out there.
You're all good. You're good. Everything was one of the points you made.
Yeah. Fair play to young Victor. Fair play to you, my friend.
Yeah.
Ultimate respect. You've come in and you've said your piece, and you actually said you didn't know, and fair respect to you, my friend. I'll pop my thumbs up to you because at least you stood there on your ground and you've admitted it. And mate, at the end of the day, I'm not that old Jez. I love to Hitler, blah and blah, guys. The club inside out, but I don't know. I'm fair. Okay, mate. Fair play to you. Respect. Yeah. Well done.
And he's being polite, Jez, as well with his questions. So.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And for anyone in the chat with a similar opinion to Victor or whatever, it's all well and good. I think the guys here, and I'll speak for myself, but I'm probably safe to speak for everyone else, is we don't mind being challenged. Just do it in the right way. No. And if there is a point to come up where, you're factually wrong, just be good about it. Do you know what I mean? So, and Victor, one of the things I can say as the host can just say to you, bud, fair enough, like Jez said, buzzing, mate. Do you know what I mean? You put your hand up and said, yeah, all right, yeah, this and all that. That's what it's all about, bruv. We're not trying to brainwash you. We're just dealing with facts, taking our opinion. You've had yours. Do you know what I mean? And look how it's ended. Everyone's happy. That's what it's all about. Do you know what I mean? Big up to you. Big up to you, Victor, my friend, as well, man. 100%, man. You're welcome in the chats like that if that's how you behave. Do you know what I mean? That's it. You get the respect. Big up to you. Big up as well, Maria and my girl. Bigger fish to fry. Yeah, with the old unicorns. Yeah, that's it. We've got some bigger fish to fry. Big up to my fucking boy, Pro Mice, man. Big up, man. 1,764 days without a trophy. That's what happens when you have 18 successive failures on the trot, my friend. We've got Rashid in the building, my brother, man. Big up to you, my friend. Always appreciate you stopping by. You know that we love a bit of Rashid, man. Don't forget to go and sub to him as well. He's a proper geezer. Yeah, we're not sure, but we lost stars after 2006. I mean, had players the wrong side of 30. Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the crappy squad that Wenger like sort of assembled in his last little bit, his last little tenure. It weren't too good. Ian McCauley, if Arteta doesn't win the Champions League, best thing is to get rid of him because he cannot be trusted, especially with a new rebuild. Mate, yeah, that's it. We think the start really of Bert coming in. That's the new rebuild. Do you know what? I said something else that I think Arteta's going to latch onto, and I've been saying this for a very long time. Everyone, all these top gooners are going to latch onto this new phrase, Bert phase 1. I promise you. I've called it. I've called it in numerous chats on my thing about a month or two ago. It's going to be Bert 1.0, Bert phase 1. That's what they'll all do to just justify. If we don't win anything going forward, they'll just switch the blame straight onto Berta. That's the worrying thing. I'm just going to quickly wrap up this last little bit. There's actually nothing else really. This is all bollocks. Look, he's asked about the power outages across Spain and all that crap. Who cares? It's a press conference. Do you know what I mean? What we're doing here. Before I get into the main event as well, about what I wanted to say, make sure I pin the chat with everyone's links. So make sure everyone you go and like and subscribe to everyone. Sorry, my brain's trying to do 3 things at once. Jason, I will star that. In fact, do you know what? We'll come through that while I'm just preparing to get up my next little bit. We'll do the questions. We got the assembled saying, Jez, do you think Berta will hang around if Arteta is given power over him?
He won't get given power over him. I'll tell you for why. Josh Kroenke and that had brought this guy in. There's no argument about it. There's no love lost between them. Anybody in the chat or anybody here right now, you tell me when you've seen them together. Nah, you haven't.
You haven't.
Because this guy's come in to overlook him.
Yeah.
Right, this guy has got more experience about transfers and money transfers, etc., than Arteta. And I honestly do believe, this is just my views, that the Kroenkes, Josh in particular, I honestly believe he's the Arsenal guy now, has said, no. This is unsustainable. We need to sort this shit out. These stupid wages, these stupid transfers, bringing in people at exorbitant costs. This got us chopped. This has got to stop. Right? I don't think Berta is the sort of guy to say, what, you think you're going to outdo me, Arteta? Do one. Ain't happening. I'm the man. Right? You're going to listen to me now. When he gets his foot fully under the table, and let's look, this guy is still young here. He's looking around. He's researching. He's looking and seeing what's going down. Oh, by the way, gentlemen, any one of you gone and looked at the accounts that have been filed at Company's House?
I personally haven't yet, but I'm fairly certain you have.
Have you? Well, go and have a look in your leisure and see what is going on. Now, this guy Berta, right, would have looked at this in great detail with his accountants. I guarantee you he would have had many meetings with the accountants and saying, what's happening here? What's going down? What are we doing here? Because you go, gentlemen, and go and have a look. It's free. Don't cost you no money. Go to gov.co.uk, right, and go into Company's House and look at the accounts. and you'll be very interested in that, I'm sure. Aaron, you like doing your spreadsheets and all that shit.
Yeah.
Right, go and have a
Yeah.
look.
Well, Aaron has already showed us what sort of money we've lost, so that's probably
Yeah,
what.
that was in just one little period.
I'm sure
Wait till you see the
Go and have a
3.0.
look, man. Go and have a look. And I'll tell you what, this Berta guy will have had a look at this. He's had discussions and he'll be thinking, interesting. And I honestly reckon he's got an inroad with the board because he's got to be. I'm not sure he's on the board, but he's going to have something there, and he will be on the phone probably quite often to Josh Kroenke, who, by the way, gentlemen, lives in London.
Yeah,
He's got
it?
a place in London.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely would have thought.
So he's pretty much around, right, with the Kroenke's other businesses. So this guy is let's not write this guy off as an idiot. I'm telling you, they will be in contact and they'll be talking and then saying, okay. If we don't win the Champions League, what do we do here? We need to move on. We need to shape up. Do we need to pay him off like 22.5 million to get rid of him? That's a year and a half.
Yeah, I mean,
it's cheap money. It's cheap money to get rid of him and get somebody else in. I'm saying to you right now, Arteta's been looked at because why are they not together? Buddy.
Yeah. No, they're nowhere. Yeah, they're nowhere near each other ever, are they? It's madness. What we'll do now is get up what I've been wanting to share, because obviously you can see in the title, everyone. You can see in the title is how long does it take to win the Premier League? Let's have a look. Let's start it off. We're going to be doing it chronologically, largely chronologically, yeah. All right, let's get into it. So, as we can see, in the same length of time served as Mikel Arteta, so within the 5.5 years, yeah. And there is an asterisk that I've put on some of them, like this, because the sixth even in charge, he will be there next year. He just will be. So that will be next year, of course, will be his 6th full year in charge. So this is what he's got to win as well. But what I wanted to do before I started on this little point as well is we're obviously going to start on Sir Alex Ferguson. Now, there is one person just before him I will be mentioning as well. People piss me off, right? When they say, oh, it took Ferguson X, Y, Z. Most of the time they are wrong. Oh, it took him 5 years to win his first trophy, not just Premier League, his first trophy. They're always factually wrong, and it's so disrespectful. I mean, you look at Sir Alex Ferguson, for argument's sake, right? He joined in 86 season. Joined in from 86, 87. His first full season was 87, 88. And I won't do all of this for the other managers, only just for Alex Ferguson. Look at all of this that he's won. Look at all of this that he's won. So disrespectful when he gets compared to Alex Ferguson, these top gooners. Oh, yeah, well, it took Alex Ferguson 6 years. It took him 4 years. They're always wrong in their stats, by the way. Look at what he's done. How dare you disrespect Sir Alex Ferguson, who I ain't even a Man United fan. Look at this, St Mirren, 76, 77. Look at what he's done at Aberdeen. By the way, this is the year before he left. The year before he left Aberdeen to come to Manchester United. Oh, yeah, he's won 2 leagues in a row, or nearly won 2 leagues in a row. Look, 86, 84, 83. He was a winner. He'd won the Scottish Premier League division here. Look, 84 and 85, a double. He won a European Cup Winners' Cup in 83, a Super Cup in 83. The Scottish League Cup in 86. His last season, he won the domestic double.
That's also the last time that a team outside of Glasgow won the league. That's how big an achievement it was.
Exactly. And I don't do this for every single manager, just that first one, because it always irks me when all these top gooners reference Sir Alex Ferguson in such a way. Look at this. Look at this. This is just these 3 cups. Look at them.
I'm saying,
I have to scroll all the way, but it takes on the whole entire page. St Mirren, Aberdeen, and then all of this with Manchester United. But I don't know. The disrespect and the lack of knowledge is just boggling. But look, let's get right into it. So look, his first full season was 88. In the third full season, in 89-90, he won an FA Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then a year later, he wins the Euro Cup Winners' Cup. That same year, he wins the European Super Cup. In 91-92, he wins the League Cup. So when everyone says, oh, you know, it took him 4 years to win his first trophy, in his first 4 years, he won 2 European Cups and both domestic trophies. That's in his first 4 years at this club. And then in his 6th season in charge, he wins the Premier League for one of 13. May I just add?
Sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting across you, but I just want to say one more thing. That the Man United team he walked into was in a lot worse off state than the Arsenal team Arteta walked into.
Yeah.
United were a proper laughingstock at that point.
Yeah. No, mate, it's madness. And no, it's fact as well, mate. Just give us 2 seconds. Right, yeah, let's get back onto it. So I've just clicked off of that 1 second. Right, let's have a little look at Kenny Dalglish now. Appointed Blackburn Rovers manager in October 1991, yeah? So the 91-92 season. By the way, they were in the old Division 2 then.
Yep.
Can I just add this? He won in his first half a season. He won the playoffs in 91-92 and was promoted to the Premier League Division 1 at the time. In his first season, 92-93, he finished 4th.
Mm-hmm.
In his second season, second full season, he finished 2nd with Blackburn Rovers. May I just add? Blackburn Rovers finished 2nd, Blackburn Rovers, and then he goes on to win it in his 3rd full season. So he's got promoted from the Championship. Let's just say it now, even though it weren't back in the day. He got promoted from the Championship, and within 2-3 full seasons, he wins the Premier League with Blackburn. Everyone always says about, oh, I'll say 8th, 5th, 2nd. Now it's going to be 2nd. This geezer got promoted, finished 4th, finished 2nd, and then fucking won it 3.5 years. Kenny Dalglish, Blackburn.
That's what you call progression.
Yeah, real progression. And the league was harder to win then as well.
Exactly, Normski. This is the real progression. Arsene Wenger, everyone. Appointed Arsenal manager in September 1996 in the 96-97 season. Oh, guess what happened? What does Arsene Wenger do? Oh, in his first full season, wins the Premier League. In his first full season, he also wins the FA Cup, a domestic double, by the way. Domestic double. Only took him 1.5 years. To Kenny Dalglish, 3.5 years to win the Premier League after being promoted. Arsene Wenger, 1.5 years. Domestic double. And then this one's for the Gooners because you love it, the top ones. 99, 2000 and 2001. Oh, he finished 2nd 3 times in a row. You all love that, didn't you? Oh, yeah, it was finished 2nd. It's progression. Look what it's sandwiched between. Here, look. Oh, because he goes on to win. Look, 01 and 02. Won the Premier League. Oh, look, won the FA Cup again.
Well.
Domestic double again. Yeah, he won in the. He was.
Yeah, UEFA Cup final in that period.
I got to say on here, look, 4 finals in 5 seasons, 2 wins, 2 losses. One of them, of course, being the 2001 FA Cup. Michael Owen, what a wanker. And then the Galatasaray final. And then the Galatasaray 6th season in charge. He won the FA Cup. Let's have a little go down to now. Jose Mourinho, appointed Chelsea manager. June 2004, so the 04-05 season. Oh, yeah, look what he done in his first season. I won the League Cup, the springboard that we all say, because guess what happened a couple of months later? Won the Premier League. Oh, look, what happens the next season for Jose Mourinho, appointed Chelsea manager in 04, wins it all of this in his first season. Second season, he wins the Premier League again, back-to-back. Something Arsene Wenger never done. Wins it back-to-back. What does he do the following year? Does the domestic cup double. Won the league and FA Cup. So within 3 years there of Jose Mourinho staying at Chelsea, he won 5 trophies, 2 of the leagues, 2 League Cups and the Premier League. But Mikel Arteta did win the FA Cup 5 years ago. So he must be wicked. But look, he goes and gets reappointed as Chelsea manager in June 2013. So the 13-14 season. Do you know what? He shot a blank in his first season. But guess what he done after that? Wins the League Cup again, and then he won the Premier League again. So when he's reappointed again, it still only took him 2 seasons, and then he wins the league and the Premier League. Exactly what he done, bar only a year later, back when he was appointed in 2004. Oh, and then he gets appointed as Manchester United manager as well. Whilst he didn't win the league, he gets there in the 16-17 season. What does Mourinho do? Oh, he wins the League Cup and the Europa League in his first year. First season, by the way, first season. Madness, absolute madness. But, you need to wait 5.5 years to win a trophy. And now we haven't won anything this year. It'll be 6.5 years, depending on if we win the Champions League or not. 6.5 years. How long is everyone's barometer to wait, everyone? Because it's starting to look like don't take the winners very, very long. Let's continue. Oh, Carlo Ancelotti, appointed Chelsea manager in June 2019. So the 09 and 10 season. Let's have a little look what he does. Oh, yeah, wins the FA Cup. Oh, and wins the Premier League in his first season. First domestic cup double for Chelsea, by the way. First domestic cup double. How long did it take him? 1 season. 1 season wins the double. First domestic double. 1 season it took Carlo Ancelotti to win the Premier League double. Ridiculous. What about Robert? We all remember Aguero, appointed in December 2009. How long did it take him? 09-10 season. Well, it didn't win anything in his first season by the look of it. How did he do in his second season? He won the FA Cup. Oh, that's cool. What about in his third season? Oh, yeah, wins the Premier League. Wins the Premier League. Manchester City's first ever one. Takes him 3 years and he wins the Premier League and the FA Cup. But Arteta only wins 1 in 5.5 years. But, you've got to wait, though. You've got to wait. So far, everyone, why is no one waiting? Why is it not taking that long? I'm quite intrigued to know why actually it ain't taking very long. Claudio Ranieri at Chelsea, appointed Leicester manager, July 13th, 2015, the 15-16 season. What does Ranieri do with Leicester, who've just been promoted? I wonder. Oh, wins the Premier League that season.
No, they'd been up 1 year, and if he was appointed in July, that December they had been bottom of the Premier League. They'd been bottom of the Premier League. That's even worse. They were in 20th, and they somehow stayed up, and then he won it the fucking following season.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, this happens. How long did it take Ranieri? 15-16 season, appointed 1 season with Leicester to win the Premier League. Blackburn Rovers won it 3.5 years of taking them from promotion. What are we doing here? Let's go to Conte, because he was appointed Chelsea in this 2016, the 16-17 season. How did Conte do? Oh, yeah, wins it that year as well. Is everyone starting to see a little theme here?
Bro, you're dropping the facts tonight, boy.
Everyone's starting to see a little theme here, is everyone?
Yeah,
I'm starting to get a little theme here, boys. It doesn't take very long, does it? That's the theme, guys. So he wins it. Oh, look, first season, Antonio Conte, first season. And what does he go and do the following season? Wins the FA Cup. Not taking Conte very long either, is it, ladies and gentlemen? But let's have a little look at Pep Guardiola. I mean, need I say more? His first season, appointed 2016, the 16-17 season. He has a mare by Pep Guardiola's own standards. He finishes in third. All right. What does he do the year after? Wins the Carabao Cup, the Springboard Cup, wins the Premier League. How does he couple that with? How does he follow that on? Because this is what a lot of people ask him, Mikel Arteta. Oh, and he does that as well, by the way, in his second season. 2 years. 2 years it took him. 2 years. Little bit longer than the 1 year has taken almost everyone else. But, we'll give it. We'll let him wait. The 2 seasons and that's all. 2 trophies in that season. What does he do the year? How does he follow that? Because like what Jez said as well, if Arteta wins this Champions League, how does he follow it on? Because everyone will just be giddy about that, and quite rightly so. But as soon as that whistle blows next season, assuming Arsenal win the Champions League, the second the whistle blows, sometimes in August, that was last season. Don't care. What are we going to win this season? That's the mindset, not what did we win last season. The new mindset, as soon as we hear that whistle beep, what are we winning this season? Because last season's irrelevant now. Oh, how does he follow that up, Pep Guardiola? Oh, he wins a domestic treble. He wins the domestic treble. So after 3 seasons, he had a stinker by his own standards. He follows that up with a Carabao and a Premier League trophy. How does he follow that up? He wins the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the Premier League. Yeah, and the Premier League. He follows up the next season, probably a bad season as well by his standards, but still wins the Carabao Cup. 4 years in the trot, may I just add. How does he follow that season up? No, he wins the Carabao Cup and the Premier League again. Almost like Jose Mourinho and him are very similar. The League Cup and the Premier League. League Cup, Premier League. League Cup, Premier League. In his 6th season in charge as well, which Arteta again will be in next season. Oh, he won the Premier League again, by the way. The following year after that, of course. But I can't put that in here because it's not 5.5 years. This is only in the same time as Mikel Arteta's been at the club, and we know he's going to get a 6th season in charge. So won the Premier League. We can't say he won the Champions League the year after, the World Club Cup the year after, the Super Cup the year after, the Premier League the year after. But, what are we doing here? Jurgen Klopp, how long does it take him to win stuff? More so the Premier League, a little while. But what does he do in his first season? He was appointed, ladies and gentlemen, as manager of Liverpool in October 15-16 season. What does he do in his first year? He finishes 8th, but he took over a very, very, very crappy Liverpool. One that Brendan Rodgers ran into the ground, by the way, after getting them nearly so far. Brendan Rodgers, the aka Mikel Arteta. EFL Cup final and the Europa League final. 2 finals straight away after finishing 8th. What did Mikel Arteta do? He just finished 8th. That's all he done. Yeah. Well, he won the FA Cup final, but this geezer's got them to 2 finals. And then he follows that up by finishing 4th. Progression, everyone. And then he follows that up by finishing 4th, but Champions League final. Double progression. But what does he do that following year? What does he do here? Because this is his first, second, third full season, by the way. 3rd full season. He finishes 2nd in the league, wins the Champions League, wins the Super Cup, and then he wins the Club World Cup. 3rd full year. 3rd full season. Wins the Champions League, the Super Cup, and the World Club Cup. What does he do to follow that up? Like Jez quite rightly states. What does he do to follow that up? 4 years, wins the Premier League. Wins the Premier League within 4 years. Wins that. He follows that up with a 2nd, and then he follows that next season up with a Champions League final again. And he wins the domestic cup double again. Won the Carabao Cup and won the FA Cup. And obviously recently, now what happens? Arne Slot comes in, appointed Liverpool manager in 2004. Oh yeah, he wins it in his first season. That, everyone, is every single Premier League title that has been lifted. Every manager since the Premier League's inception has not taken anywhere fucking near 5.5 years to win the league. Most of them win it in their first season, in fact. The vast majority of them won it in 2 and won numerous trophies with it. Leicester won it. Blackburn won it with a manager that's been there either 1 year or a couple of years. And I'm sure we'll be coming back to this in reference, so I'm going to come back and look at the chat for a minute. But boys, whoever wants to jump in first out one of you lot, what do you think about that, man?
I just want to go here because I rattled this off the other day, and it's kind of in the same ballpark. If you take your man Favoli at Ajax, first season, they're top of the league, right? They look like they're going to win it. It's his first season in charge. He's only a young manager. Rui Burgess at Sporting, they got rid of Amarin left. They got a new manager in. He did terrible in his first few months. They sacked him. They were well down in the league. Your man Rui Burgess took over about 3 months ago. They've stormed back. They've got a game in hand now to equal points at Benfica, and they've got the momentum. It looks like he's going to win the league. Vincent Kompany, first season at Bayern, going to win the league. Hansi Flick at Barcelona, first season, looks like he's going to win the league. Slot at Liverpool, of course. And I think it's only really Luis Enrique, the so-called top 5 leagues, that isn't in his first season, and all of them are going to win a league. So it's not just even in England. These managers can do it. Vincent Kompany, he only had experience at Burnley, and he's at Bayern. They didn't win the league last year. They're going to win the league this year with him. So all over Europe, managers are doing this on their first try. Conte lost one of the best strikers in the world in the summer. Sold under his nose. He went, okay, Osimhen, the tactics suit you. I'll get a so-called wish version of you in Lukaku for like 20 million. Get him in. Lukaku's balling out. He signed McTominay. Oh, yeah, but he's awful. The chap's absolutely balling out in Italy. He lost is one of the best wingers in Europe in January, halfway through the season. Kvaratskhelia went to PSG. Didn't whinge. Just got on with it. And they're going to win. It looks like they're going to win the league. So no excuses with these managers. And that is the big difference. No excuses. Slot didn't come in and go, really? You're only signing me one player? He just went, okay, I'll tweak this, tweak that, win the league. Simple as that. So this, what you've put up there is just damning evidence that this progress phases nonsense. Arteta invented it. Arteta invented this. This was never used before. And then if you want to get into the Premier League, even to just the year before when Leeds won it, they'd only gotten up a while before that as well. You know what I mean? They'd only got promoted not so long before they won it. So it's absolute nonsense, and it's just what Arteta does. He came up with phases. He came up with progress, and people just buy into it now. What about Xabi Alonso? That was his first season in charge, and he stopped Bayern, who had won 11 in a row before that. Bayern had won 11 leagues in a row, and he stopped them. So we need to stop taking this Arteta language as gospel, because it's not. It's all made up. It's a fantasy world. and he's living in it. And as Normsy pointed out, it's main character syndrome. That's what it is. And he twists the narrative to suit him. And the sad thing is, the majority of the fan base buy into it. But if you could show them that. Aaron, and I'll leave it at this. I'll land on this. Someone put up and said, shall we gal this? And I just wrote in, it won't go in. The information won't go in. And that's the problem. You could sit there and point everything out to them and you go, oh, injuries, it was different time. They'll find a way to make it sound like Arteta's done a wonderful job. And that is why I say even if he wins this Champions League, I still don't think he's the right man for the job, because we've seen there what a real manager does. Every single one of them was progress, actual progress, before this term progress was out. But listen, Aaron, such good work. And this is the thing that they need to see it, but unfortunately it won't go in. And that's the sad thing. The information won't go in with them.
Yeah, no, facts, man. And as well, cheers, Modupeo, if I pronounced that right, my friend. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, Sam, for this. Well, that's why I do it, my man. Absolutely 100%. That's what it's all about, my friend. Look, thank you to the donation. I'm sure Jezza for that one will be obviously double extremely happy. We're all so happy to deliver this this sort of content out for you. And do you know what? This is exactly just a bit of respect that we have. Not the dough, but the comment, man. Just people writing and going, yeah, cheers, man. This is good content. That's why we do it, man. We do it so we can just let people see what is going on here with this football club. And you're a legend.
Guys, don't super chat on my channel.
No, don't care about that, Jez.
Because it's not. No, you got a super chat on Aaron's channel because it doesn't come through to Aaron. So don't. If you're going to super chat, do it on his.
Jez, yeah, your views. I don't mind. Honestly,
I do.
It's not that. Jez, it's not that, man. You're a part of this panel and an excellent part of this panel. If anyone is super chat wherever you want, I appreciate you saying that, Jez. But yeah, honestly, man, I'm just very grateful for the appreciation, because obviously it does take me a bit of time to put this all together. And I'm one of them people that I get one little point in my head and I just have to run with it. And I was only going to do a little sort of little bit on this, and then I'm like, holy shit! I'll keep going through it, and I'm like, wow, I've got a whole show here. So I just thought, you know what? My Monday shows are going on absolute fire lately, and they're on fire because of every single one of you in the chat. Every single one of you, man. I am double, and always will be treble grateful for every single one of your views, man. We got 142 in the building, man. That is phenomenal. It's treble humbling, whether it's most of them are on mine, on Jez's, on Shane's. Everyone's watching, man. I can see everyone. 142. That's buzzing, man. I'm forever treble fucking grateful, man, for every single one of you. The links are in the description. The links are now also pinned in my chat. You might not see them on Jez's, because I don't think my pin thing goes into there. But if you're on mine, sub to the lads. If you're not in mine, either way, they're in the description. Sub to everyone. And for me as well, what we're on now, let's have a little look, because we're on a little road to 700. We're 5 away. Come on, people, man. Get subbing. All the links are pinned in the chat. Get subbing, man. 5 subs away from 700. That's what we need to do, man. Let's come to a couple of comments, and then I'll get in Normski's view on this, and I'll get in Jez's as well. Just want to come to the world-class chat, the Pele chat. Yes, this is exactly it, man. And thank you again earlier. Thank you for these stats. Just shows where our standards are at. Making excuses upon excuses. But he's handsome and has perfect hair. And don't forget those eyebrows. They have got perfect symmetry, mate. Don't forget them, brother. Yeah, man. Big up to you. Big up to you for being here, brother. And the same for everyone. Big up to you, my man. Chandra, big up. Speaking facts regarding Sir Alex Ferguson. They're all there, bruv. Do you know what? These statistics I've wrote down, they are facts. There's not one little bit of me that's edited it from my own little perfect view. These are all statistical facts. And the proof of the pudding is, which is why I've done it, just to tell every single one of you that it does not take bloody 5.5 years to be as unsuccessful as we are. It just doesn't. It's just as simple as that. You can see it here. It's there to bear for everyone to watch. You go back and have a little look at it. Use it as a reference point. This manager and this board, or most of this manager's taking you all for a ride. And they have been taking you all for a ride for 5.5 seasons, people. 5.5 seasons. Big up, Tony saying, don't forget the 2 trophies. Yeah, the community shields. Yeah, piss off, Tone. No, love you, mate. Thank you very much for being here. Yeah. Waffle, yeah, that's it. Show this to a gal. I actually tend to agree with what Shane says. It'll go in there and then out there, mate. Unfortunately, or was it Normsky that said that? I couldn't quite remember. Yeah, what can you do about that? Yeah, no, it was Shane. Yeah, he said it wouldn't go in. Big up, man. I got 5 on it. Yeah, Mutual say slot start and phase 6, Aaron. I know, mate. You'll never turn their head around. That's the worrying sort of thing about it, man. Yeah, everyone needs standards. Yeah, that's it. But there's no standards, man. Up in fact, yeah, cheers, Norms, man. Do you know what I mean? That's how we're trying to do around here. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, obviously, I know the assembled. Do you know what I mean? You can go back further and further and further, but I kept it in the Premier League. Otherwise, do you know what I mean? I'd be doing it for days. But now, big up to you, my friend. And cheers for the support as always. Just going to take a couple more comments and then I'll get Normsky in. That's it. Well, this is what I'm saying. The madness. What we're saying here, yeah. At times, argued George Mount, Alex seemed to want to pass the ball to death. Yeah, man. Let's have a look. Just a little couple more. Yeah, we got a little mic drop. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Top Gunners. Yeah, they're all hipsters, man. Proof exactly right. No, sir. Exactly right. Here is the proof. It does not take time. Mob boss, mate. Thank you very much. It don't take time, does it, brother? Big up to you, man. And yeah, Jez is getting some love there as well, man. Yeah, it don't take time. Normski, proof in the pudding. It don't take time, does it, bro?
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Ooh.
As simple as that. It's there in black and white. Yeah. It's not like you made this up in your head. All right.
I'll come back to this comment. Go on,
yeah,
sorry to cut you there. I'll come back to that.
And you checked it all out and you're taking the scales off of those guys that are blinded by the Arteta matrix, the one that I'm in currently at the moment. At the moment, gladly, I'm not actually plugged in. Yeah, I'm just on the outskirts of it. So I haven't been sucked in yet. Yeah. But what I would say with what you've said here, especially when you look at the top managers, right? You know, they haven't looked at the Carabao Cup and thought, oh, that's just a little crappy cup. Yeah. They said, no. Yeah. It breeds winning. It breeds winning. Yeah. But with us, with our fan base, oh, the Carabao Cup, no, you don't want to win that. Yeah. It's a tin pot cup. Yeah. But that is what breeds winning mentality. Pep's done it. Conte's done it. Loads of managers have done it. Yeah. We had a chance to go and win, yeah, this so-called tin pot cup. Yeah. Yeah. We had a chance. Yeah. We went to Newcastle. They came to us. They dealt with us there. We went there. We couldn't deal with it. And now, who's just lifted a trophy in their long history of not lifting a trophy? Newcastle. What have we got to show for it? Nothing. And yet again, we're here sitting there, twiddling our thumbs and thinking, when are we going to do this? The pressure is on Mikel Arteta to win this Champions League trophy. He has no excuses now. Yeah. Liverpool, they're sitting back now. They're on the beach now. Yeah. They've done their business. Right. We have now got to go and win that champion. There's no excuses now. Yeah. We're not here for the journey. Yeah. You get there and you get us over the line. Yeah. The pressure is 100% on Arteta's shoulders right now. Yeah, and he's sweating. Don't think. Listen, I'll tell you this now. That's not his real head of hair. I'll tell you that now. He's wearing a toupee, so don't be fooled, right? Don't be fooled, right? He's wearing a toupee. That's what he's wearing, right? We need to go and deal with PSG tomorrow. Yeah, that's where it starts, right? Mentality. Let's go there and go and do the business. We have no excuses. Yeah, I don't want to hear about this one is injured or this one's out or whatever. We need to go and do the business now. I'm tired of it. 21 years of not seeing any trophy lists or whatever. 5 years since we've won the FA Cup with Unai Emery's men. And now here we are. And Aaron, you've dropped the facts in terms of all the different managers over the period of time in the Premier League, in the early part of the Premier League, right up until this very point.
Yeah.
And now we have it where Slot has come in his first season without buying hardly anybody and doing it in his phase one and lifting up the Premier League, right? It is what it is.
True.
Yeah, no, facts. Jez, what do you sort of want to say on it, my friend?
Well, I think he just summed it up, really, mate. And
Yeah.
great facts and figures. Well done for you to take that to the table. I'd hate to face you in a conference, to be honest. Because, in a business deal, I'll be thinking, "Fucking hell, what's going on?" Anyway, no, being real, being real, man. You put it on the table. It's there. Lay it out. The paperwork's there. There's nothing to argue about. There's nothing. The facts don't lie. Yeah, when you look at what you just put on the screen, yeah, it is there. That's it. You know, nobody can make it up. You can't lie about it. It's not like you're making statistics up, which you can. We all know you can manipulate statistics, and it's bullshit, right?
Dave, I'll read it out in a little bit. Sorry to cut you, Jezza.
But the fact is, you just laid it all on the table, and it's there for everybody to watch and see and say, you can't make it up.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah. It's impossible.
Respect you for doing it.
Yeah. Line by line, year by year. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, yeah, you can see it. It doesn't lie. So when you present this to the likes of the top gooners, let's see how they interpret it in their world. Let's see how they interpret it in their world.
Yeah, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? It's sort of damning because when you sort of, look through and you sort of just see every one of them, apart from like one or two, these managers have won numerous things in that time as well. It's not just the Premier League that they're winning either virtually straight away or mostly the next season. They're winning numerous things. They're coupling them, like, say, Mourinho here. They're not just winning things in their first season, boys. They're winning
constant success. It's constant success.
It's wall to wall. I mean, you're looking at Arsene Wenger when he won it in his first season. He won 2 trophies. I mean, you can sort of pardon Blackburn. I mean, because they were Blackburn, you're getting promoted, and then you're winning the Premier League for only sort of winning one. But that's Blackburn in 3 years.
But I touched on it earlier, Aaron, as well. Like, if you even just the year before the inception of the Premier League, Howard Wilkinson took over Leeds in old Division 2. I think it was around the Christmas period, and they finished 10th. Then his first full season, he won the second division. The first season in the first division, they won the league.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So he only really signed Cantona and a couple of other players, but it's been done before as well. You know what I mean? First full season up, they win the league. Yeah, people say, "Oh, football was different," but it's the same concept.
It's a major point here, Shane. And it's in the chat from Nelson. And respectfully, Nelson, respect you, man. Respect you.
Let's come down and try and find it.
He says, Jez, man, sometimes take context into the season with our injuries. They have derailed our season. And whose fault, Nelson, is that?
Yes.
Whose fault is that, my friend? Because this manager didn't deal with backup players in the summer transfer, and he didn't do it in January. Look, we all know, Nelson, respectfully, I respectfully say to you, we all know we got a lucky season, not this year, the season before, right? We got lucky. We didn't have many injuries. This season, we've suffered some bad injuries. But when you've got a manager that hasn't backed up the squad and left us with a squad of 22 players, knowing we are competing on 4 fronts: Premier League, Carrier Bag Cup, FA Cup, Champions League. Who do you look at for not buying the players that you need to sustain a squad that can get through that many games? It's only one person, man.
And the thing is, Jez, as well, sorry,
I'll come to questions, boys. Yeah, everyone. Sorry, Chen, to just cut you just for 2 seconds. Anyone that's put the question, I am starring them. Yeah, we will come back to them in a bit. Yeah, Cool. Sorry, Shane. Carry on, mate.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to build on Jez's point there, because he was saying about like Arteta not signing the players to build the squad. But if you look at even the seasons before, when we had Reece Nelson and we had Emil Smith-Rowe and we had Fabio Vieira and Eddie Nketiah, these guys aren't world beaters. I understand that they're not world beaters, but he never rotated them in. He never rotated them in. Even when we had them, he didn't rotate them in. And I'm not talking about starting them. I'm talking about, you know, being 5-0 up against Lens at home and leaving Saka on until the 70th minute. You know what I mean? That happened all through his 2 seasons. And Views made a really good point once. He said, we haven't been unlucky with injuries this season. We just got lucky all the other seasons that they didn't get injured. So even when Arteta has the players, he still just flogs them. And, you know, Slot came in and they asked him, what did you change? He said, I took the intensity of the training down a bit. Like, he knew they were all professional. There's no need to be, you know, we're losing Havertz to a grade 3 hamstring on so-called warm weather training. You know what I mean? So they weren't even taking it easy in training. So Jez is completely spot on. It all goes back to the manager. Every bit of it goes back to him. None of these injuries were Aaron Ramsey getting clattered by Shawcross. It wasn't Eduardo getting his leg snapped in half. These are hamstring injuries, fatigue injuries. The players do, like I said, the attacking players, 80% of the running is backwards. It's tracking back when you don't need to track back. Why are both wingers tracking back when the team's attacking down the right? You know what I mean? The other wingers should be coming back a bit slower, even for when we break. These are all simple things, but he's so wounded from throwing the league away in 2022-23 that we have to be defensive. And why are we locking up? Why are we playing defensive when we're home to Southampton? Why are we playing 2 holding midfielders at home to these smaller teams? Rotate one of Partey and Rice out. Play 2 attacking midfielders. You know, we made a point earlier about players needing to say that quote about 2 years to get to know a system. And Jezza rightly said players should within a week or 2 be able to adjust. But having said that, have we ever seen Arteta change tactics for a game? I don't think I've ever seen him spring a new tactic for a game. You know, Slot changes his team to suit the team they're playing. Oh, we're at home to a bad team. I'll play more attacking midfielders. I'll play 2. I'll play what's his name? The number 8, Szoboszlai and Szoboszlai and McAllister. I'll play the 2 of them because I don't need 2 holding midfielders. And I'll play, you know, two wingers, and I'll play. He adjusts his team, but we just play the same team all the time. It's the same 11. And you know, we talk about rotation. If I was Wanyeri and I want to play in the 10, I'd be sitting there going, no matter how good I play and no matter how bad Odegaard plays, I ain't getting in the team. You know what I mean? So where other managers will say, you're not playing well, you're out, he's in. You know, Guardiola dropped Foden pretty much all season. He was player of the year a couple of years ago. So this is the problem.
On this one, I'm going to back you up massively on this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put this question out to you, young Nelson. Right. When Arsenal last won the league, right, 2006, right, we were in 4 competitions: Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League. Yeah. Wenger used to rotate that squad.
Yeah.
Nelson, tell me how many players we had in that squad. Tell me our players, man. Tell me how many. Don't name them. I don't expect you to name them. But tell me how many players we had in that squad. I'm not calling you out, but you're making out, right, that it's not the manager's fault. You've made it. You stated it. It's not the manager's fault. It clearly is. He's got
100%.
in four competitions, right, with 24 players, of which, gentlemen, right, four on the bench are unplayed, unknown. So Nelson, I'm not having a pop at you, but when we went into the last Champions League final and league we were challenging, how many players do we have in that squad?
Sorry, go ahead.
Go on, mate.
Oh, no, sorry, yeah, I'm just going to back you up again on this, because the 24 players that we have this season, right? He didn't foresee Lewis Skelly and Wanyeri having such a big part to play either. So he essentially went in with 22. He didn't foresee the two of them being that good or being that reliable. So he took an even bigger chance going in. And Aaron often points out.
There's Nelson's. 33 players played that season, Nelson. 33.
I don't get your point, bruv, he says.
I don't get your point, bruv. Well, the point is, my friend, he rotated 33 players against what he's done this year, because Arsene Wenger could rotate players in the League Cup, right? Yeah, you get it? He could rotate players in the Premier League and the FA Cup, and we went on to a Champions League final. I don't think you're quite working the maths out, my friend, because if you've got 33 players to rotate with, he actually had 35 in the squad, and you've only got what you've got now. Surely isn't that a less amount of players to rotate with? So therefore, that makes your current squad more prone to injury. So your comment, Nelson, was that you were talking about previously about injuries. Well, of course, if you play players more, like when you've only got 24 against 35, then you've got a problem, because then they're more stressed, they're more prone to injury, muscle injury, strain, So your argument, Nelson, is totally wrong. Work the maths. It's quite easy. It's quite easy. Yeah. And I'm not having a pop at you. But at the end of the day, work it out. If you've got 33, as you said, it's actually 35. Yeah. And you're playing all them games, which is no different to what we've played this season to get to a cup final, i.e. in the Champions League, then you've got more players to choose from in the early stages of the League Cup. And let's remember, Nelson, the League Cup, Arsene Wenger used to play the kids.
Yeah.
So he could rest the top players. And let's remember some of the games, shall we? Shall we remember some of the games? Do you want to go down that road with me? Because I can tell you all the games, right? So that's at the end of the day that you remember, yeah? You don't stress your players out in the lesser parts of the League Cup. Back in the day, what was it? The Coca-Cola Cup, was it? Back then? 2006, right? You played your lesser players, and then if you needed to, you bring them on. Yeah? Right, let's remember the League Cup final against bloody Birmingham. We went through with a lot of kids. Christ. A lot of us, be respectful, had never heard of. And we got to the final, and respectfully, Wenger said, "No, I'm sticking with the kids." A certain player, Walcott, was begging to play in that game, and he said, "No, I'm sticking with them." And it obviously we lost against Birmingham.
It was a bit of a mixture. It was a bit of a mixture in the final now, because Van Persie started, he got injured.
He did, and
the one against Chelsea now, he completely went all kids. The one against Chelsea when Diaby booted Lampard in the face.
Point is,
Walcott got his first goal, but
Shane, the point is, these nonsensical answers what we're getting this year about, there's nobody's fault but Arteta's. The fact we've
100%.
What?
100%.
And you can't say anything about it.
100%.
Nelson himself, fair play, respect Nelson. You said it. We had 33 players in that squad in 2006. Yes. This season, right, we're 10 players off that.
But the difference as well is that squad back then, was a quality squad compared to what we've got now. Because if we look at what you said, what we've got on the bench, we had kids on the bench from the academy. You know, when he was turning to the bench, you're looking at 11, that's 4 left backs, 5 left backs. We're going to do 5 left backs. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So at the end of the day, you know, Nelson was saying also like the fact that, you know, if you lose the likes of Rodri or you lose the likes of Saka or whatever, but what you got to understand is that we've never ever competed for this title. Yeah, we've never ever competed for this title. When Saka was Saka was fit, when all our players were fit, we was nowhere near Liverpool. We've never been in any touching distance of them.
Yeah.
Right. So we've never been there. And the fact is, with Man City, yeah, Rodri, yes, was injured. Yes, and he plays a major part in terms of what they do. But the whole team fell off. Yeah, because they're quite an aging side. And there was a lot of stuff going on with Pep and his personal life and everything, and that all spilled out onto the field. And at the end of the day, one player is not going to let City drop off with that major drop in terms of goals behind Liverpool and points wise. One player, Saka. So we missed Saka, and and then we're going to lose the league by 15 points. No, what the problem is that we drew too many games, and we lost games from winning margins, where we lost 18 points from winning margins. That's not down. That's not down to injuries. That's not down to injuries. I think Shane, you said it in another stream. You go and win that game, and you make sure you see the game out. That's got nothing to do with injuries. You're winning and you lose, from a winning position. So you win half of those games that were drawn, and we're then competing with Liverpool.
Yeah.
So it's not that. It's not. Yeah, injuries play a part, but let's not make it. That's the thing. And when you got people turning around and saying that Liverpool were lucky to win the league because they didn't have any injuries, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's
the thing, though. When you're talking about throwing those leads away, and I have said it, the problem is with the injuries, with the throwing the leads away, with the bottling it, with all these things, it happens over and over again. He doesn't learn from mistakes. And if you have a manager that doesn't learn from his mistakes, you're in trouble. This thing of throwing away leads. And I always say this, and you said that I touched on it. I'll just say it in case there's anyone here that hasn't. If you go 1-0 up, every time he goes 1-0 up, no matter who we're playing, be it Ipswich or, a team in Europe, as soon as he goes 1-0 up, he sits back for 15 minutes. He locks up and tries to kill the game off. But when a team's injured, why let them back in? Why give them hope? And I've said it before that we could be playing at home to say Leicester, which we were 2-0 up, and he sat back, and they hadn't had a shot, and suddenly they get a bit of life into them. Then they score, and we wobble, and they make it 2-2. Now we nicked it in the end, but Villa 2-0 up. All right, let's sit back, let's lock up. No, you keep killing them off. If you get a third, everybody says that when it's 2-0, the next goal will decide if the other team's going to come back into it or if it's over. Get the third, and then their heads drop and it's over. And on the Rodri thing, right, and this is nothing to do with him getting injured, but I made this point earlier on Rashid's thing. Thomas Partey's our Rodri, right? He's the number 6 that wins the ball back all the time.
I'm going to fuck
He's our number
2, right, because I'm going to get wound up because stupid comment here. Absolute man, where are you coming from here, fella? Because we had so many dodgy red cards. You only get red cards for fouls. And on that note, before I lose my plot, because these people wind the fuck up out of me, right? Because you're not really a football fan. You talk shit, right? At the end of the day, I respect you, Nelson, but get real, shut up, watch the games, because at the end of the day, man, don't come down this game playing the loose rubber where you well, it was never our fault. Blame the manager for his failure. Blame it. I mean, your comment there, why did Skelly's card get rescinded then, Jez? Because at the end of the day, the weak management of this football is the problem.
We won that game, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it didn't affect us.
I don't know
we won that game 1-0. And the Rice one, where he
Right.
kicked the ball away, yes, they've gotten rid of that rule. But we knew going into the season, everybody knew if you kick the ball away, you get a card.
I was told.
Nelson,
If you kick the ball, you're gonna get a yellow card.
Excuse.
It's
You
excuses.
look for every excuse in the game. Just admit, Nelson, right? I'm mentioning your name, right? Because you are putting the stupid comments in. I respect you, but at the end of the day, you are making excuse for a failure of a football club and a manager. Admit it. I admit it. I see it.
Yeah, well, according to Nelson, that's why we lost the league.
And let's have it right, everybody. He didn't get a red card for kicking the ball away. He got a second
Exactly.
yellow, and a shitload of players got a yellow card for kicking the ball away. It just happened that it was a second yellow, which makes it more stupid, which makes it the manager should have told them at the start of the season. They have meetings with the refs. The new rule is the refs come into the ground and tell them what the new rules are. And if he doesn't have his players not understanding the rules, then, you know, whose fault is that? You know what I mean? Whose fault is that if his players don't understand? A couple of red cards here and there is absolute nonsense. Liverpool had decisions against them. McAllister nearly got his leg broken. A red card wasn't given. Did they go, oh, well, now we just have to give up? No, they went on and won the game because that's what winners do. They don't let it city. And we should have, we were at home to Brighton. It shouldn't have mattered. We were 1-0 up. We still should be able to hold off with 10 men. You know what I mean? This sort of thing. Rice knew that if you kick the ball away, you get a yellow card. Trossard knew if you kick the ball away, you get a yellow card. They both did it. That's it. Yes, they've relaxed the rule because they realised it was wrong, but we knew the rule at the time. And a lot of this comes down to managers' decisions. The point I was getting to with Rodri was, right, Partey's our Rodri. He's our number 6. So if he gets injured for a whole... Everybody's saying out the PSG game, oh, without Partey, we're done. And they're right. But Arteta has intentionally taken him out of his position, 7 times this season, Aaron, is it, and put him at right back? True. Oh, you're on mute. I think it's 7 times that he's put him at right back. Can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine Pep putting Rodri at right back if he was stuck? It would never happen. He would rather put a kid there, someone who's never played, keep Rodri where he's at his most dangerous. Instead of messing up 2 positions, he just put a weaker player in one. Guys, but Arteta thinks he's reinventing the wheel, so he puts Partey at right back. Was that down to the refs that he made these decisions?
I'm going to bounce, guys, because I'm in a very calm mood. Right, Nelson, it's not the rules, it's the laws of the game. If you know football, it's the laws. It's not the rules, it's the laws of cricket, it's the laws of football. So get yourself factually correct before you want to challenge me. I've been watching this game. I've been a high-level referee. So get yourselves right, right? Yeah? Because at the end of the day, don't be silly. If you want to challenge me, I'll do a 1-to-1 with you. I'll do a 1-to-1 to you. But at the end of the day, your comment there was it's unfair. Come on, man, grow up. Life is never fair.
Yeah.
Life is not fair. Football is not fair. And your life, when you're married and whatever you do in your life, it's not fair. Fact.
Does anybody remember the handball that Odegaard had against Liverpool?
Yes, 100%. There you go. Right. Blatant penalty.
I'm going to bounce out because I'm
sure, Jez?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, Nelson, you're a lovely guy. You come in my chat and I respect you for it. But get your facts right, man. If you want to come in and challenge me, fair play. And I'd love it. And we'll do a 1-to-1 and I have no problem. It'll be respectful. But, I get the with people when you come out with bullshit. It's unfair. Oh, it's not fair. Oh, okay. It's not fair. Yeah, I've seen it for fucking 53 years, man. I've seen Arsenal cheated, if you want to put it that way. But, hey, it's not been cheated. It's the laws of the game. And I'll just say to you, it's not rules, it's laws. Okay? Fact. And thank you, mate, as always, for inviting me on. But sometimes it's better for me to walk away and not disrespect your channel.
No, you're not.
Jane, I'll be seeing you. It'd be an honour to come on your channel next week.
Oh, legend, Jezza. Thursday night.
Nolsky, you're a real one.
That's rough.
Old fucker like me. And I think maybe you get the ump sometimes when people, don't see it how it should be seen. But, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to bounce out, man.
No, he's saying sorry, though. He's saying sorry. He's probably taking the wrong way.
Pissed me off, man. It's just like sometimes you need to get real and look at it from the real world. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Nelson. You're a top fella. I love you to bits, but sometimes, man, look at the real picture because it's not always blinkered. Yeah, there's a lot of things out there, mate, in the real world that you need to look at because, and it's a lot of things outside of football. But gentlemen, I love you all.
Jezza, DJB's going to be on in 5 minutes. What's saying? Say hello to him, or are you absolutely certain that you need to go?
I'll stay on for DJB. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
We're keeping the Jezza in the building for a little bit longer.
Please, I'm not having to go at Nelson. Nelson, you're a fucking real one. But wake up, mate.
Yeah. That's it, man. Listen,
what will to fuck off.
What we'll do, Jez, we'll quickly move on because I heard, I don't know where it was, saying about this Premier League title race that we was in. What one was that, by the way? Because I mean, after 5 games, as you can clearly see here, well, we were 2 points behind. So, and we were 4th at the time. We were 2 points behind. So, maybe you could say possibly we're in the title race. What about after 10, though? After 10, we're 7 points behind. Okay. So where's the title race? We're already 7 points behind Liverpool after 10 games. Where's the title race? Oh, here we go after 15. Oh, we've clawed it back. 7 points behind. Oh, no, we ain't. Still 7 points behind. 7 points still behind. Where's the title race? Well, that's what I'm asking. And where's the title race? It's still here. Where's the title race at? What we like after 20 games? Oh, yeah, still 7 points behind. Where's the title race? Where's the title race then, everyone? I'm just intrigued as to whereabouts it is. We've got 25 games here. Oh, we're 7 points behind still. 7 points behind. With or without the injury of Bukayo Saka. Still 7 points behind. How are we doing after 30 games? Oh, yeah, no, I didn't actually do that one because what was the point? After 34 games, there we go. Only 9 more games later, we're 15 points behind. Champions Liverpool. Where's the title race? Where is it?
Saka's back. Saka's back. Odegaard is back.
That's it. But everyone's back. Where's the title race? Most of the season we've been 7 points behind, and now we're 15. Where was the title race? That's what I'm just intrigued.
If that's the case, then
tell me
where the title race and Newcastle were on in the title race.
What Nelson said there, he says Liverpool had the best squad by miles this season and was lucky he got left such a good team. Right, fair play. But the question is like, who did you have as favourites? Right, everybody, top gooners had Arsenal as favourites to win the league. Liverpool were 3rd favourites to win the league. Yeah, Opta Computer had them at 5.5 at the start of the season. Arsenal were 12.2, and Man City was 88 or something like that. Okay, so the question is, when you put it to them, when we beat Liverpool last season and we beat them to 2nd place, because that's what we do, because we're 2nd place FC, we don't like getting over the line. We like to just keep that 2nd place nice and warm, right? We was told that Liverpool, I mean, if people were getting players into squads or doing squad whatever, they wouldn't even get into our squad choices or whatever, right? And we was told that squad wasn't good enough. Soon as Slot now is doing well, all of a sudden Slot's taken over a world-class team. When before it wasn't a world-class team. Now he's a world-class team. The problem is what a lot of top gooners do, they move the goalposts to suit their narrative. That's all it is.
Every time. It's like Arteta.
That's what it is. You move the goalposts to suit your narrative. What we do as fans here, if you want to call us the bottom fans, negative fans, we look at standards. We call it out. Because we want progression. We want to win. It's as simple as that. And so that's why we call out the stuff that goes on. And people might look at that and say that's negative. It's not.
You see, when you were making that point there, Normski, about Opta, so sorry, I'll be quick, because I know you want to bring in TJB, but you were making that point there about Opta, and everybody had Liverpool outside the 3rd, and most people had them outside the top 4. I had them outside the top 4, right? Because new manager, they didn't sign anyone. I thought, Salah's, he was getting injured last season after AFCON and stuff like that. Now he's after, your man put up, the bookies aren't always right. Well, I can guarantee you did not have Liverpool to win the league, mate. There's no way that you had Liverpool to win the league before the season started. Not a hope. There's no one, not even Liverpool fans had Liverpool. In fact, it was one of the only years where I didn't have all my Liverpool mates going, this is our year. Because they say that every year. You know what I mean? Even they were going, oh shit, man, I don't think we're going to do great this season. So nobody had them. So you can't say that he walked into a world-class squad, because if it was a fucking, it was a genie in a bottle that nobody else saw, because nobody saw that as a world-class squad. In fact, we all thought Klopp had run them into the ground and it's going to take a rebuild. Slot refreshed them like a good manager, came in, improved players. Like how? Improves players. Who's Arteta improved? Gabriel, maybe? And people say Timber, but Timber wasn't a fine. Timber was 50 million. That's not a fine, mate. That's someone that everybody's after, and we got him. Rice wasn't a fine. He was 105 million.
Timber's not a project. Timber's not a project. Yeah?
No.
Timber's not a project.
No, far from it. And any project he has brought in, he's failed absolutely miserably. He's failed miserably. And these projects he brings in, they're not cheap. They're normally 35 million or 28 million.
Well, can I jump in there as well, Shane? In the 27 permanent signings that Mikel Arteta's made, cross-referenced with the money that he spent on them, our average signing per player under Mikel Arteta's reign is £29 million.
Yeah, there you go. They're not gems.
Almost like I've done my research.
They're not gems, though. They're expensive players. Alexis McAllister was 35 million. You know what I mean? And look what he's done. He's one of the best midfielders in the world now. Yeah. Gravenberch's one of the best sixes in the world.
Just quickly before I bring DJB in, Mod, you didn't have to redo that, my friend. Honestly, you didn't. Listen, I double appreciate it, my man. Recently in that chat, and you don't have to do that, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but listen, it's double grateful, man. Tell you what, it will go towards fucking a new chair. Because I don't know if you can hear mine squeaking away. I'm on my kitchen island that I built, and I've got bar stools on there. But do you know what I mean? It's just squeaking.
I thought it was the missus having a go at you, man.
Aaron, my dupo, she said she's not a brother, she's a female. So
wow.
She did say early on.
I'm very sorry, my dear.
So she's a sister. Since I got it wrong, since I got it right, should I say?
Apologies.
Yeah, sub to my channel as well.
And mine, please.
No, sub to everyone. Yeah, but no, my dear. Now that I know that, it's no way to know. So I do genuinely apologise. I only sort of go off the fact that my analytics, 99% of my viewers are male. So I do apologise. You're the exception, and I'm very, very, very grateful.
Missus as well, man. My missus as well. My missus subscribes to you. She described you as eye candy today. So, bitch.
Ian said. Ian said it takes 5 years to build a proper chair, Aaron. I know. I need to trust the chair process, don't I? Trust the chair says, isn't it? Trust the chair says.
There he is. I've got one of my top haters. He's come to your show. Bless him up.
Oh dear. What can we do in it? Yeah, I'm with the Johnny Walker Black Label. Yeah, in the centre island. I'll tell you what. Do you know that about the old, like, for a bit of whiskey? Yeah, I actually need to invoice Lee Gunner, because I think it was about 2 years ago or last Christmas. I can't quite remember because I drank too much whiskey. I was having he was having one of his rants, and I've got me a whiskey glass in there. So around Christmas, I'm having shot after shot. You know what whiskey is? I drink beer very, very, very fast. So this is why I don't drink whiskey when I'm out, because I naturally just drink very, very, very fast. I'll fucking steam straight through this thing anyways. I'm sat here, literally like right here on my old MacBook, like 1,200 quid's worth of MacBook Air. It's one of them ones. And I must have fell over and then spilt all the whiskey all in the keyboard, and it fried the old motherboard. I tried getting it repaired from Apple, and they wanted 650 quid to replace the motherboard. I woke up in the morning, I was like, oh, what's going on? I'm seeing everything's just all sticky on the keyboard, and the fucking thing wouldn't turn off. So I keep that very, very firmly away from the island now. That stays there. But yeah, man, that's no good. And man, sorry again for your zap. But DJB, I will bring you in, my brother.
Aaron, better late than never, as they said. But then when I saw the legends, when I saw the Knowles and the Jezza and my man Shane, and I thought I've got to get on this. You know what I mean? I've had a night out. I've had his boy's birthday, and it's all been. It's been nice, man. Getting over the Liverpool winning the title yesterday.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, what can we say? Just not been prepared. Just unprepared. The squad's been unprepared, and it's been unprepared for a few years now. You know, we can blame injuries all day long, but we didn't have injuries last year, and we didn't win the title. We didn't have injuries when we had an 8-point lead, or random injuries like most clubs have, and we didn't win it. So it's just another season in the Premiership where I've been disappointed. The only thing that's kept me going, like a lot of Arsenal fans, is the Champions League. But that can come to an abrupt end tomorrow if we Knowles that up. So, I think what we need to do is take at least a 2-goal lead from tomorrow's tie to have any chance, whether it's 3-1, 2-0, 4-2, whatever. It's got to be 2 clear goals to have any chance of getting through that tie tomorrow. But as we've said all along, what can you say? You know, the excuses. There's no more excuses now. I'm done with trying to outdo Arteta in, Arteta out. I'm just looking at facts now. I'm just looking at what the facts are bringing in, and the facts of the matter is that we have had no silverware, and it's 5 years in the process. It's 5 years of looking at awful signings. Terrible signings, really, he's made. You know, you can go on and on and on. Pablo Mari, Fabio Vieira, Tavares, Lukonga, Marquinhos. You can go on and on and on and on. The facts don't lie. And this is where we're at. What really annoys me, though, guys, and what really annoys me is the disrespect that Liverpool's had from a lot of fans, Arsenal fans in the main. Complete disrespect, because if you actually look at their Premiership campaign, it's been pretty impressive. And they could still end up with 90-odd points.
Yep.
You know, they've won the league with 82 points at a canter. Let's be honest. They've won the league at a canter with no real pressure on them at all. And he's won it by literally playing different systems to suit different games. And this is what the difference is between their manager. Let's just take Liverpool's manager. Their manager and our manager. Our manager will play the same way. And in games, he won't change how we play. He won't adapt to oppositions. He can't adapt to injuries. He can't adapt to a sending off a red card. But if you look at Liverpool, he plays differently compared to what game he's in. So Liverpool, when they came to the Emirates in the first half, we battered them. We were a better team. But he adapted to that in the second half, come out with a draw. When you see Liverpool have played Man United, you know, he changes the system to suit the game. And this is what he's done. He's not regimental in how he plays. And this is what you have to do now in modern day football. You have to change the system. You have to change the way you play. And this is my question marks with Mikel Arteta, guys, I'm afraid. Can he change? Can he adapt? And I don't see much evidence in this. Yeah, we've had a good Champions League campaign. Not denying that. I'm saying that the guy has done really, really well. We've had a good Champions League campaign so far.
Yep.
And perhaps the way Arteta has set up this season has suited the Champions League. But going forward, the Champions League is not our bread and butter. Our bread and butter is the Premiership. Now, don't get me wrong, I would much rather win the Champions League than any other trophy because I've never seen us win it. However, once the Champions League's over and the dust settles, how is he going to be next season? Are we going to have another Premiership of if, buts, maybes, could have done, should have done? And this is what scares me, guys. And I've had 5 years of it, and I'm like the rest of you guys. I just don't want any more of it. So, congratulations to Liverpool again. And then we'll see how tomorrow lies and see how it goes from there. But that's where I'm at with it, guys, I'm afraid. if I've come on and repeated a lot what people have said already, I apologise, but I just had to get it out there because I'm really disappointed this season. I'm absolutely gutted that we haven't capitalised on an opportunity that we should have done, and I'm absolutely gutted that our Premiership season has just fizzled away and died with. And it's been a waste. It's been pretty much a waste of time, really. Yeah. Well, mate.
Yeah, mate. That's what I mean. Like, you think the likes of that's with no disrespect to anyone else. You know, like the likes of us this specific season. Me and you have gone to, you know, especially you've gone to a lot of away games as well. I've gone to the vast majority of the home games. We've invested a lot. I always say this. We've invested a lot of not just money into this football club every single season. We invest our time, and that's the most precious commodity in the world. We've invested a lot of time into this football club this season. Everyone has in their own sort of way, but you know, when your match day going, you invest a bit more, and the sacrifices as well. And everyone's different. Not only do I outlay financial, I outlay my time. I sacrifice time with my kids, my 4-year-old beautiful daughter, and you know, my 7-year-old son. Who quite looks like me, so he's all right, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? He's all right.
Well, I'll tell you what, Aaron. I mean, poor sod. Do you know what I mean? No, mate.
I was going to go down there and do that joke, but I didn't want to knock him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
he's got half a chance if he looks like you, mate, isn't he?
But do you know what I mean? Like the point sort of is it's just not been good enough. No one here deserved. No one deserved that summer. And I can promise every single person this in the panel, in the world-class chat. Don't forget, links are pinned in my chat. They are in the description. Go and give every single person a follow. And we hit 700 subs today.
I'll have a link in there soon. I'll have a link in there soon, guys.
You will do, DJB. But big up to everyone, man. The 700, man. We are nearly there to 1,000. We will get there. But do you know what I mean? It's just devastating that, again, we have this summer. We have another summer like that, DJB, boys, on the panel. We have one more like that. We'll be outside the top 4 next season. I can almost guarantee that. We will not finish in the top 4 if we have another Mikel Merino, Sterling, Calafiori season. We'll fall out that top 4 in the Champions League. I almost guarantee it.
No, before I let the boys come in and big up to my friends on the panel here, you know, they're absolute legends, and you know, pleasure to share the platform with them.
Legend.
What I'm trying to say as well, there's a lot of things that are worrying me, Aaron. The captain, the leader on the pitch, you know, there's not a leader. We need a voice on the pitch. We need a leader, and unfortunately, Odegaard's not that man. And I've said it all along. Perhaps taking the captaincy away from him might kickstart him again. You might start seeing a different Martin Odegaard again. I don't know. I think the captaincy's too heavy for him. I think it's weighing him down, and I think it's getting to him. And I think we need a new captain. We need a new voice on the pitch.
100.
And another, you know, the signings he's going to make in the summer. Is he going to improve these players? Gyökeres coming in. Is he going to get the best out of Gyökeres? Because Gyökeres ain't his sort of striker. He doesn't really want him. You know, he's looking at a Sesko and people like this. Gyökeres ain't going to be his choice if he comes in. He's not. Arteta will be pleased that he's at the club. Of course he will. But it ain't going to be his choice. And this is what worries me. Is he going to rotate him? Because he's going to find... He'll guarantee he will find room for Havertz. You know, because he's going to fall on his sword. He's going to die on the hill for this signing. He will try and get Havertz in at every opportunity he can get. And we still need a replacement for Saka for if he gets injured. We don't know how long that injury is going to, whether that's going to come back to haunt him. You know? At the moment, he's playing snippets of games. So he's playing like 20 minutes here. He's playing 15. But you've got to remember, Arne Slot at Liverpool knew that Salah was suffering with a hamstring problem. So he changed the way he wanted him to play. He said, I don't want you defending. I don't want you running and sprinting back. I want you to do your damage in the final third. So
and he's done it.
And he's done it.
He's done it. Ain't he just?
You know what I mean? And so his work rate has been cut down by half, which is putting less strain on him. Whereas this manager will expect Saka, right, okay, you're fully fit. This is what I want you to do. I want you up and down, up and down. So we don't know long term what that is going to do with Saka. So we need a signing. I've always said we need an actual squad. And I keep saying it, and certain people get annoyed with me when I say a rebuild, but that's what it is. We need a squad of players that when they come on the field of play, you're not weakening the team. You're keeping this team at the same kind of level. You know, you're not weakening the team. So you're not bringing on a Kivior for a Saliba or a Gabriel. You're not bringing on Sterling for a Saka. You're bringing on pretty much like for like. All right, we know we can't go out there and get a Saka. I mean, the next stage up is probably Vinicius Junior. We ain't going to get that. But opportunity we missed on Elise, for instance, that kind of player, a Kudes at West Ham. Bring a Jared Bowen in.
Yeah,
that kind of
one, isn't it?
That kind of Liverpool player, so you're not weakening the team. Because at the moment, our squad depth is not good enough to compete in the Champions League and the Premiership. It's either one or the other. We either put all our eggs in one basket for the Champions League or we put all our eggs in one basket for the Premiership. And that's where we are at the moment, guys. And that's what I want to see. And I don't think this is the manager to do that. I'm sorry. I just don't. I really don't.
Yeah. Facts, man. No, facts every time, DJB. Jezza does need to leave, and I'll get this comment from Mod. But listen, man, Jezza, thank you very much for giving me 2.5 hours of your time today, man. It's fantastic having you on again. But as always, I'm blessed to be enjoyed by your company. Do you know what I mean? I love it every single time, mate. Sharing the screen with you has been excellent from my very start. Yeah, so man, big it up. What you got coming, Jezza?
Wednesday might be doing an old school show with DJ and Kenny. Do that one. And that's always an honor, man, to be on with you guys and we talk about it. And tomorrow night, big game.
Massive.
Big game.
In it, yeah.
Massive.
Yeah, huge. One of the biggest games, I think, gentlemen, we've seen in a very long time. And it's been a good debate tonight. Thoroughly enjoyed being on with Shane and that idiot up there in the top corner. No, I'm joking. Knowles, DJ, been brilliant. Nelson, I wasn't having to go at you at all. You know, when you want to have a debate, I love having debates with people, and it's great, fantastic, gentlemen.
Jez, can I just ask you? Sorry, mate. I know you got to go, my friend. Can I just ask you a quick question? Tomorrow's game, I'm getting the vibes of '89.
I said that the other night.
Would you say that? Would you say it's and Shane and Knowles? Would you say that tomorrow night's game's just? I mean, it's never going to be as big as '89, but it's that kind of vibe. Are you getting that kind of vibe?
I am. I said I'm going 2-1, man. Arsenal.
Yeah. Do you think that'd be enough though? 2-1. I don't think it'd be enough.
No, I don't think it will.
No. I don't know. I've got to disagree. Like I do think that we've got the absolute capacity to go there and hold a slender lead. All right, it's like I reckon we're probably 51% favourites now. I really do. I'm in quite a positive little mood. See, I reckon when if we win 1-0, I reckon we're favourites. You know, we're nice solid favourites, and I reckon if we win 2-0, I reckon we're really firm.
Oh yeah.
I reckon
I was of the same with you, Aaron, of the one, but just more of being closer the game gets. I'm thinking if it's a 1-goal lead and we go away to them and we do the whole thing, we're going to lock up for the whole match. If they score, Arteta has no way of changing the plans mid-game.
No,
he has no way. We're done.
In-game management, it catches him out.
Gone.
One thing,
he's absolutely gone. If he has to change plans mid-game, we're gone.
Yeah.
So,
what's worrying
so
me
it has a bang of 89 off it in that we need to win by 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we do need to win by 2.
There's no Thomas tomorrow, and that's going to be a big.
That's massive.
That's
massive.
I think that's what's playing in the back of my mind. You know, when he got that yellow card, I was thinking, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know what I mean. That's why.
But we were negative for thinking that, Normski. We should have been celebrating. We shouldn't have gone, "Oh, but this might affect us later." We should have gone, "Oh, but we beat Madrid." We should never have thought of the negatives ever.
Yeah. Well, listen, Jezza, I will let you go, my friend.
Jez, always a pleasure, my friend. See you, Jez, legend, man.
See you later, Jezza.
The Godfather.
Take care, boys. Take care.
Take care, mate. Have a good rest of the evening.
Legend,
man.
Bye-bye.
See you, Jezza. Bye, mate.
Legend in the building. Always got a lot of time for Jez, man. You know what I mean?
Going into this game, though, as DJ said, is there... All right, is there the 89 thing, but is there a level of confidence going into this game? We don't want to go in there, you know what I mean, complacent. But what we did in the first leg, nobody was expecting that against Real Madrid, where, you know, we spanked 3 past them. And I think we have to go in there with a level of caution. I think with anything, like, you know, if you're going into a competition, like, and everything's at stake, you know, don't go in there too overconfident and thinking, oh, whatever. I mean, you have got top gooners thinking, oh, yeah, we can take them apart. So I'm very cautious. And as the game gets closer and closer, you know, the old stomach starts to go, and then you're thinking about all the permutations that could happen. Do you know what I mean? Are we gonna, you know, is Saliba gonna have a bozo moment? You know, is Kivior gonna be able to? It's a totally different challenge compared to the Real Madrid side. Not only that, PSG play as a team, yeah. Not, you know, they're not a bunch of individuals, right? And they move the ball a lot quicker. So it's about how do we deal with that? Because when we played them in the group stages, they weren't moving the ball that quick. Yeah, I watched the game back home today, and I said, let me just watch PSG, and I'm thinking, yeah, they ain't moving the ball like they're moving it now.
Yeah, mate, you know what I mean? Do you know what worries me, Normski, and that is I watched them against Liverpool, and I've not seen many teams pin Liverpool back and create so many chances than this team did against Liverpool. And as I said, I think Partey is key tomorrow, because if he has to bring Marino back in midfield, you've got to remember, Marino hasn't played that role pretty much all season. He's been out injured. When he has played it, he's come off, and now he's been put up front. So if he comes back into midfield, you know, when you've got that Cavachella and Vitinha and the way they get the ball out wide and things like that. And not only that, Skelly's going to be a great player, but he's learning his trade.
Yep.
And he's a bit rash sometimes, and he mistimes tackles, and he goes diving in when he shouldn't dive in, because he's learning. You can't blame him. He's not. I'm not saying he's a bad player. And cute players and quick players, they seize on that opportunity, and I'm just a little bit worried that someone will get goal side of him, and Kivior's going to be tested tomorrow as well. And against Real Madrid, I don't know, I had this thing. I'm thinking, well, whoever scores, I think I said it, whoever scores the first goal will probably win that game.
I agree with that fully. Yeah.
This game is going to be wide open. This game is going to be wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a 2-2 tomorrow or something like that. Do you know
like
what
the
I mean?
Bayern game, like the Bayern game last season.
Wide open. And,
because the thing,
they're dangerous. They are very, very dangerous.
The thing you touched on there with, sorry, TJB, go ahead.
No, just one thing before you come in. You got to remember, they've never won the Champions League either, so they're going to be, you know, this game to them is just as big, if not bigger, considering all the money they've spent over the years.
Exactly.
So we'll have to wait and see, man.
And the thing you said there, DJB, about Lewis Skelly, I've been saying that for a while. And the Kivior thing is that, you know, the 2 performances they put in against the two Madrid games, we were all scared that either Skelly would get a red card or give away a penalty, or the Kivior would have a bozo moment, or something would go wrong. You know, that risk is still there. That risk is still there. It hasn't gone away because of 2 good games. That risk is still. If anything, I think it's more there now that they might get complacent. And Lewis Skelly is going to be world class. You can see it in him. If he matures at the speed he's going at, he's going to be world class. But we do have to remember that as an 18-year-old kid playing in a position that he never played in before until a few months ago. So, I mean, the risks are there. And if he gets turned too quickly and a rush of blood to the head and he pulls a player back in the box or something, this can happen. So I think Arteta should be protecting him. And the options aren't really there. And the thing with Marino is we don't even know if he's fully fit. We don't even know if he's fully fit yet.
No, exactly, man. It's
you know what I mean? So if he's putting him into midfield, not fully fit, or even up front, not fully fit. So there is a lot of sort of variables that are going to come into this, and we'll have to go and see.
Yeah.
I would come out of the blocks for the first 15 minutes. I'd go at them hard, very fucking hard. Get the crowd up. Go at them. Try and get 1 or 2 goals. Yeah. Sorry, Aaron, where you go?
Just going to quickly come to the chat for over 2 seconds. The Maradona chat, man. People are saying bye to Jez. Obviously, big up, man. We've got Montpellier. Yeah, the Northsky celebrations are legendary. Yeah, we love a bit of Norms. Yeah, unique.
Love a bit of Normsky, man.
Yeah, we love a bit of Norms, man. Absolutely, the geezer's a geezer. Yeah. And what we got here? He's an absolute geezer. All the chat has just pinged up for some strange reason. I hate it when it comes on that. It does my head in. Yeah, what we got? Oh, this made me have a little laugh. Yeah, what phase is my back scratcher in? Yeah. Do you know what? This one's in phase failure, like Mikel Arteta, because it's broken. But I've always got myself a little backup. The old telescopic one.
Aaron,
mate, we don't mess about.
I've got to get one. What is it? I suffer with itchy back as well, mate. I've got to try
and it's always here. You know where you look like a prat trying to scratch it, where you
drives me mad
and all that. Yeah, it's always in the fucking
absolutely mad. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, boys. Yeah, and as well, AT. That's funny. I got these about 4 years ago. Yeah, on Amazon. I paid $4.99 for a pack of 5. I'm not even joking. I leave them scattered around the house, bruv. Like I've got one on my windowsill in the bedroom just in case I've got a little fucking back scratch. I go there. I'll wake up and I've.
You need the missus to rub you in with a bit of you need some moisturiser, mate. You need the moisturiser on your back.
Do you know why? The only reason I bought them, was because I was like, oh, babe, do us a favour and scratch my back. And after 11 years, she just got so far, she got so fed up with it, she bought me a fucking pack of these.
I'll tell you what, you're easy to buy as a stocking filler, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? What the old back scratcher in there.
Oh, mate, well, what can you do? Yeah,
scratch your FC settings.
Scratch your FC, mate. Do you know what I mean? We're in phase 1, mate. Honestly, this broken one's in phase 5. I ain't got myself to throw it away. And
look at that extension on that. Look,
you know what I mean? Yeah, look at this one. Look, this is proper. This is, mate. Do you know what I mean? We don't mess about. I just thought it was quite funny, man.
Back settings.
He's back scratching. That's why they call him Slim Shady. What we're saying here, Mod's saying, this is a really good point as well that she's making. We keep thinking every team is going to stay the same while we have another go at it. Look at the teams around us. They're all building, improving, and spending money. That is
100%.
fact. And then she also goes on to say, no one's going to stand still. Double fact. Just let Arsenal have another chance to win the league. Exactly right. She gets it, man. No one is going to wait.
No.
Arsenal's top gooners, they think that we'll just stand still. Oh, it's all right. We'll just win it next season. That's what we probably thought in 2004, by the way. Oh, and it's been 21 years.
And do you know another thing? They think we're the only club that are going to bid for these players that are going to come available in the summer. That's what really winds me up. Do you honestly think that Arsenal Football Club are the only player that's going to go after Gorkaris, even though we've got Berta? Do you think we're the only club that's going to go after all these players? There's going to be other clubs coming in for them. And there's bigger clubs than Arsenal. Respect, you just got to face it. There's bigger clubs than Arsenal. Even though we're a massive club, there's bigger clubs than Arsenal. You get Man United come knocking at the door, Real Madrid, Barcelona, even Liverpool now, they've won the league.
Yeah, and they're going to go again. They're going to go again next year. I'm
sorry that, these young players, if they've got a chance, no matter how bad Man United are, if they've got a chance to play for Manchester United Football Club, they're going to go. They're going to go. Simple as that.
Yeah, no, it's facts, man. Yeah, that's it. Darren Sullivan decided he's bought a little cheeky fly killer from Amazon today. Yeah, listen, man, keep hearing the problem sounds. Listen, do you know what?
The Sully.
Do you know what? Do you know what my missus nearly bought me for my birthday, and I'm devastated she didn't, because I said to her, I was like, oh no, we'll get one in the summer. There's this thing. It's not a paid promotion, by the way. Yeah, this is a real thing, and it's so American. Yeah, and it's obviously invented by like a hillbilly-esque sort of stuff.
Electric.
It's called no, and it's not back scratcher. It's to do with the flyers. There's this thing called the bug assault, where you put fucking like, oh mate, it's fucking ridiculous, mate. I haven't got it yet. We're going to order it, but it's this little shotgun, and you put like salt in there, and it just shoots little pellets of salt and kills the flies. You can get a little laser on it and everything.
Is this an Arsenal? Is this an Arsenal channel, or is it very channel?
I'll get it up, mate.
Klarna settings, isn't it?
Let me have a little look at the bug assault, mate. Honestly, my house is we're just full of weird little gadgets, mate.
I ordered something on the internet today, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Yeah. You keep that to yourself, definitely, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not called X-ray. You can go more, DJB. You'll have to hold that one, mate. You have to hold that one, son. Yeah. Fuck you know. Well, let's have a little look. I'll show you, Knowles. I'll show you, Norms. Give us 2 seconds. Look, I'll share it. This thing is absolutely nuts.
There we go, Norms. Look, here we go. We're gonna. I'll tell you what. This is Klarna. I might. My channel. I might have to do a little bit of a shopping channel involved.
You know what I mean?
Getting a bit of bug assault on and all of that.
Look, Darren. It's a water pistol, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. Look, Darren. If you want something to properly kill the flies, mate, this is
Orange
what it's all
Crush
about.
Edition.
The bug assault.
Yeah. How much orange things? Is that 81 quid?
Yeah, I don't know why it's so expensive, because it was 50 quid when I last looked at it. Well, look, you got you put the salt in there, and then you just fucking pump away, mate.
How is it 81 quid? All that is a water pistol that fires salt.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
it kills the flies.
You imagine inviting someone round to dinner and say,
look,
"Do you want to eat on your chips?"
You're touchable. Yeah. You're coming out thinking, hang on a minute, I just wanted a fucking condiment, for crying out loud.
Hang on a minute, I'll pick my chips up off the floor, shall I?
Look at that, look, attachable laser.
Look, I'll tell you what, Sully, man. I can see you, mate, with that bug assault, mate. I'll tell you. Yeah. You'll be ripping it up, mate. That
has got fucking Darren Sullivan written all over it, mate.
That's got Darren Sullivan with his Arsenal shirt on, with the bug assault in his hand. It's there, isn't it?
Mate, like, this is a bit of me and all, man. I can't help things like that. I just sit there and just think, my kids will love that and all. Well, I don't want to let them play with it, obviously. But they enjoy me running around.
I'll be honest with you, mate, right? You're the sort of, this is you, isn't it? You're the sort of person that loves a gadget. You'll love this.
I am this geezer. Mate, do you know what I do, yeah? I've got a little shark hoover, yeah, that you know, when you detach it, you've just got the long tube that sucks it up. That's how I get rid of the spiders and the flies and that. And what I do is I hold the thing, and my kids love it. Yeah, they'll go, Dad, there's a spider up there. Or, Dad,
no, you mustn't get rid of spiders, mate. Never met a spider homeless.
Yeah, but they love it. I pretend to do like the Ghostbusters noise. So I hold the thing in my hand with the tube. I turn the Hoover on, and I run around getting the flies playing and noise. Mate,
Nulski, we're in the wrong game, mate. What we need to do is a pepper assault.
Get the fucking bug assault, mate. I'm telling you.
We need to get our heads together, Nulski, and design something.
Anybody turning up to this channel today, mate, I don't know what's going on.
You got to have banter after the Premiership season we've had, mate.
Man. You
didn't laugh, you die, wouldn't you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is it. That's what I bought underneath. Oh yeah, what?
Daz has made a good comment. Spiders kill flies. Yeah, don't ever make a spider homeless, mate. Keep the spiders. My gas full of spiders. I love them.
What, they are big tarantulas?
My kids don't like them.
They kill gnats. They get rid of gnats. I've never got any gnats or flies or mozzies because the spiders kill them. Brilliant. Arachnophobia, mate. If you got arachnophobia, you can't come in my gaff, mate. It's full of spiders.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not 100% on them. I don't really care.
Spider-Man, I'll tell you.
Mate, yeah, that's it. I'm not a huge fan of them either, really. But do you know what I mean? Like, I'm more sort of just I'm like the insect extinguisher in the house. Like I said, I'll go full on Ghostbusters. I'm telling you, Norms. I proper do, mate. I'm like just that bouncing around with the Hoover, and then I run over to it and everything like that. So I go, you know, like when they're trying to suck him in.
Bugger salts, mate. You're going to have to get us one as your uniform, Aaron. We'll all turn up with the bugger salt.
Yeah.
Get the old overalls and all that in. Do you know what I mean? With a bugger salt. I will, mate. Just go.
We'll
fucking
turn up at
hunting them around like that.
We'll turn up at Arteta's house.
Yeah. It's Arteta's house. Oh, that's funny, man. Yeah, brilliant.
Arteta assault.
Yeah. The Arteta assault, mate. Yeah, he needs them assault. Yeah, Amazon shopping channel. I know, mate. Well, you know, we're nearly monetized now, so we've got to try and get some sponsors now, ain't I? I mean, Amazon or bug assault. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here, mate. What we doing? I'll happily promote it. You know, I mean, a bit of bug assault and all of that. What we doing here? I know, Benji, it's gone south, isn't it, mate? What can we do? Aaron's Avon special.
I'll tell you what, we're bantering like Arsenal's football season here, mate, at the moment.
Yeah, mate. That's it. Aaron, can you shoot the fly on the sideline next time you're at a home game? Mikel Arteta. Oh, mate, that's funny, man. Doctor, big up, brother. As long as spotters stay in their lane, cool. Otherwise, you can get launched into the sun. These are M fuckers, always doing their Cirque du Soleil, trapezing bullshit from the ceiling. Yeah, we're good on that. I know, mate. Oh, yeah, 100%. That's funny stuff, man. Let's get back to Arsenal, shall we? Otherwise, I'm going to end up talking about bugs and bug assaults and fucking back scratches all day. And, we will be wrapping up sort of very soon. Let's try and get back on track, man, everyone. I know, sorry, mate. Yeah, that's what we got to do, isn't it? But right, what I will do is take some of these questions, because we've got a few starred here. Jez has gone now, so that one's sort of a bit aimed at him. This is one from Joe, man. Whoever wants to take it, take it. The question to the panel: how many Arsenal performances have you been impressed with? Anyone want to take that one first?
Timber.
Arsenal performances, not players. Performances. So I'm assuming he means.
Okay, sorry. Sporting game. City, but City rolled over really. Obviously, the two Madrids. That's it. We beat West Ham 5-2, but we were 4-0 up and we threw away 2 goals. So I'm not even going to put that in it.
Palace was a 5-1 on 5-2, wasn't it? Away.
Palace was all right. Yeah. They were in a bit of a slump at the time, though. But
that's Forest really weren't a bad half.
Forest, it's a good half. It was a good half, like you say. But that's it, really.
We haven't had a full like 90 minutes from start to finish. I don't know if we played like a full 90.
No. Even the City one, the first half, we weren't that great.
No. It's been it's sad, really, isn't it? Because you can't. I'm with Shane. I'm just thinking of.
We're looking at 10. We're looking at out of all the games combined. What? 10?
But even if you take January out of last year, there wasn't many. We had that blitz period in January.
Impressed with the away leg at Real Madrid in the Bernabeu.
That was the most satisfying, I think.
Yeah, that was quite a professional performance. That was two good goals as well. And our heads didn't go when we missed the penalty. We could have.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
Caved in. So I'd say that was the best that I've seen us play for a long, long time. Other than that,
slim pickings, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It just goes to show, doesn't it? DJB, I'll bring you in on this one. My boy Prome, big up to you, my man. I just want to let it be known that I'm grateful for fans like Jezza, DJB, Kenny, Shane. I've learned so much about our club from them. Thank you, legends. Yeah, and he also goes on to say there, which I'll direct to you as well, DJB. How much do you guys think we can get from the dead weight in the summer? We will be needing to offload. Needing to offload to buy. Who would you sell? I'll let you come in on that, DJB, and then we'll go on.
Well, this is gonna cause a lot of problems because I think it's that fine line of. Best way to describe it is, when you got a car and you want to keep, and the car, there's nothing wrong with a car, but if the older the car gets, it's going to devalue. So you either think to yourself, do I sell it now where I can still get a few quid for it?
Pick up, Jamie, mate.
Yeah. Or do I keep it another couple of years and lose money on it? So on that sense, if I can get good money for Martinelli, I'd sell him.
Yeah.
If I'd definitely sell Odegaard if someone came in with a strong bid. I'd sell Trossard, and then I'd let, we've obviously got to get rid of Zinchenko, we've got to get rid of Gabriel Jesus, all these sort of players. The players that are on loan, I'd get rid of. But yeah, and you know what? This is going to cause a lot of problems. But as much as I want Gabriel Magalhaes at the club, and I think he's absolutely vital, and we need to keep him at all costs, I think if Saudi Arabia comes in and offer 100 million for him, 90 million,
100 million euros,
27 years of age, it's going to be very, very difficult to turn that down, because we need to strengthen in a lot of areas. As I said, we need to build a squad, and if it means offloading 3 or 4 of your key players to strengthen in the areas we need to strengthen, then yeah, it's going to be difficult. But yeah, I'd try and keep Gabriel, give him the captaincy to try and persuade him to stay. But yeah, I mean, if we can get money for Martinelli and Trossard, I think I'd consider it. Definitely, 100%.
Yeah,
I actually think I'd rather Martin Odegaard go, because I think it kills more birds with one stone than Martinelli would, because not only would it clear us of more wages in terms of 240k a week that Martin Odegaard is currently on, by the way. I reckon it gets rid of a player that's clearly peaked. I don't know, DJB, whether you was on my show the other day where I actually went through Martin Odegaard's entire stats, because everyone says he's a failed wonder kid.
Oh, yeah. That.
I went through it and proved that he was never a wonder kid in the first place.
Yeah, it's awful.
So I think you get rid of him, not only do you get a couple of quid in the bank, you get rid of his astronomically high wages that he doesn't deserve, by the way. You also get rid of that captaincy, and you can give it to somewhere else where it's needed.
Yeah, I would definitely offload Martin Odegaard if someone come into him. The only thing why I said Martinelli was I only see flashes of brilliance with Martinelli. I don't see consistent 90 minutes of constant threat from Martinelli like you've got on the other side. I see sort of 5-10 minutes of Martinelli, and I've seen a lot of Martin. I've seen Martinelli. We was only saying it. It's only like the last 3 or 4 games that he's kind of shown some sort of form. Other than that, he hasn't really shown a lot. And so if you get someone coming in for big money for him, and we can replace him better, then I would probably listen to offers.
Yeah, I think the hope with Martinelli.
What do you reckon on that, Norms? Yeah, sorry.
I was just saying, I think the hope with Martinelli is that when we got him, we was hoping that he was going to push on. I mean, he had that season where he scored 15 goals and really done well under Unai Emery, and then he had that injury, come back, and then Arteta was kind of mucking about with him until eventually got his place back on that left hand side. But over the last 2 seasons, he has really dropped off, and because he's not consistent, he's only now having a little spells where he's playing well. But you want somebody that's going to be consistent, and then you look at him, he's meant to be Brazilian, so I want to see brilliant Brazilian stuff. You know what I mean? It's just at the moment we're not seeing. You're not seeing it. He's becoming too predictable, and I think a lot of the fan base, if money was to come in from him, I think a lot of them will say because they have been having a go at him because he hasn't really been doing well for Arsenal. So I would be tempted definitely to and I think we'd get decent money for him. And I think if he went somewhere else. If you want someone else under a decent manager, I think they could get the best out of him.
I think we could get 70 mil for him, easy.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, do you know what? I would say 70 million, considering the years on his contract, and he has at least had 1 decent season. The only reason why I can't see us getting 70 is them wages.
Yeah. You know what, though?
Someone will come in and go, we'll have him for 50 million. But we would have paid 70. But unfortunately, he's asking for 260k a week, and we don't think he's even worth half of that.
What did we pay for him when we got him?
6 million.
32, 36.
So we're still making
I think we should go and get Bruno. I think we should go and get Bruno from Newcastle, and I think we should go and raid Aston Villa of Rodgers if they don't make Champions League.
Yeah.
definitely.
Or Eze's in for a shout. I think someone,
they're the sort of
Eze's
players we
shout.
need at Arsenal. We definitely need a Bruno Guimaraes at Arsenal. I don't think Isak's going. I don't think we'll get Isak. I don't think anyone will get Isak. I think Isak will stay.
Not this season anyway. Not this season.
No. We missed the boat there. Definitely. But Gyökeres is about the best pick of the bunch, and there's not many around, to be honest with you. But Gyökeres is the best, not Sesko. Or go and get them both. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Normski. What 1-0 down? Sorry, come on.
Well, no, I was just saying you still got that conundrum with Kai Havertz. That's the problem.
He's always going to be a conundrum since he bloody started.
That's what's hampering us when it comes to the striking situation. Do you know what I mean?
We messed right up, mate. Do you know what? That's why I said as well on my stream. It might have been last Monday. I brought up the fact that I would actually pay the 30 million for what's his name? That striker that's at Ipswich just gone out my head. What's his name? Delap. That's the one. And for the pure reason of a market opportunity. Now, I would actually, and this is the take that I said, I would sign him and then I would actually loan him out. And the reason why I'd loan him out for a year is, one, he gets another year of Premier League experience, but hear me out here. Two, we've still got Havertz to sort out. We've still got Gabriel Jesus to send out. What I'm saying is the angle that I'm coming at is if we sign two strikers, Joker's been the first, and then we sign Delap after, the problem with that is we've got them two players still. I reckon we would need that year to at least get one of them players out. Now, Gabriel Jesus is injured until November. He's going nowhere in the summer. So that's a big issue. I think in that year, that Roy Delap, crying out loud, that Liam Delap is there out, earning another year of experience, getting that price up of that 30 million price tag, getting that up. Once it gives us another year to sort out the two car crash of attackers that we've got up front in Havertz and Jesus, and then he comes back. Either comes back and he's our second choice striker, or he comes back, has a good season, and we can sell him for a profit. I reckon that'd be a fantastic idea. But you're right, the whole point of everything is that we are just absolutely handcuffed with these two signings. They're earning 550k a week between them. And look at what they're doing. They're doing absolutely nothing. And also, as I've been reminded in the chat, I have to keep to it. Yeah, AFC Vigilante has sort of kindly reminded me that Havertz's name has been mentioned. Yeah, man. Sorry about that. You know, the clips are always a little bit overdue. Yeah, I always forget about mentioning, man. Yeah, look, Tim's is agreeing with me. Yeah, that's it. Get Gyökeres and Delapin. Yeah, 100%.
Don't offer a buyout clause for old Harry Kane in January as well. See if that turns his head.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that. I can tell you that 100%. You'd do it, wouldn't you? Ask the question.
65 mil.
Ask the question.
Gyökeres and Kane.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
that's all we're asking, man. Do you know what I mean? Lookman and Bernard. Lookman's another sort of a good idea.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't mind having him in there. We've got Lawrence in the building as well, man. General question for the panel. And there was another question as well that I'll see in a couple of seconds. There's a couple more coming. I will get to them. General question for the panel. Normski, take this one. Next one, Shane's. If we managed to win the CL, do you think it would surpass winning the league at Anfield 89?
Ooh. That's a hard one, isn't it? Lawrence, that's a hard one.
You've got to look at the circumstances, right? Look at the squad. Look what Liverpool was doing at the time. Yeah. Look at the type of player we had at the club in '89.
Yeah,
we had men like Kevin Richardson signed from Watford for like 200 grand.
Yeah.
We had, come on here. And we went to Anfield and we had to win by 2 clear goals, and we won 2-0.
After letting the lead slip as well, if you in the weeks leading up to it, you know what I mean.
Look at the type of player that we had at the club. We never had no £100 million signing at the club,
and they hadn't lost at Anfield by 2 goals in a ridiculous amount of time as well. It was a massive amount of time.
Exactly, and they had.
No, that's too iconic to be beaten. I think that's too iconic to be beaten. It's too iconic, the 89.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think
I'm not being nostalgic here, Shane and Knowles, and you two fellas are probably not. Is take all the nostalgia and all that and everything away from it. You have to weigh up of at that time.
Yeah,
You got to remember this team pretty much blew the title in '89. We blew the title. Really, we went to Anfield thinking, "Fuck it, we've blown it," and our asses were on the floor, you know. Yeah. And the players we had at the club. I mean, George Graham, Martin Hayes, Kevin Richardson. You know what I mean? Men like this. You know, it was like Alan Smith. Crazy.
I mean,
with George Graham, like even the defenders that he did sign, the Dixons and the Winterburns, they weren't expensive either.
No, exactly.
You know, and then he had the core of the Rocastles and the Mersons and the lads that come through, Tony Adams, and you know, so he worked miracles.
It was against all odds, man. I'd have to say 89. Gotta say 89. I don't get that kind of sense going into the Champions League semi-finals and then getting to the finals. I don't see that. It's against all odds, because we've had a decent campaign in the Champions League. Yeah.
See, the thing is that, sorry, Nosey, but someone wins the Champions League every year. I know someone wins the league every year, but nobody wins the league that way.
No,
that's only that can't be done again. You know what I mean? That cannot be done again. I think that Liverpool, of all the European Cups / Champions League, they will, of course, they put Istanbul top because of the what happened in it. You know what I mean? And the shitty squad they had.
They won't make a film of us winning the Champions League like they did, like we did in '89.
Exactly.
And you won't get the same euphoria in the streets of North London.
No, I don't think so.
But having said
I wasn't there, but yeah.
It will still be a very, very special moment if we win it. But the different circumstances. See, this team is expected to win the Champions League and a trophy because of what it's had spent on it and the time and effort it's had put in it and moving to the Emirates. But that team in '89 wasn't really expected to go to Anfield and win 2-0.
And the thing is, as well, I always say about the league and the Champions League is that the team that wins the league is the best team in the country. But it's not necessarily the best team in Europe that wins the Champions League. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So to do that against Liverpool as well is it's different gravy, man. That Liverpool team was the City team of last year or the United team of the 90s. You know what I mean? And we pretty much, I know they won the league the season after, but that was the last one they won until Klopp. You know what I mean? So we kind of knocked them off their perch as well with that.
God, that was amazing.
Shane, this one's to you. Question: what winger is going to be effective going for us when our manager wants them to be doing a bleep test on the winger? And on the
this is actually perfect for me because it's something that I say quite often, and not just wingers. I've been saying this for years now that when we're linked with Osimhen or we're linked with Gyökeres or we're linked with Elise or we're linked with whoever, we could get prime Maradona and he'd find a way to nullify him. So it doesn't really, to me, I don't want this war chest spent until a different manager's in because he will not get the best out of whatever attacking player we get. He has ruined every attacking player, not just the ones he signed. Every attacking player we have, he's taken them down a notch. So to me, it wouldn't matter who we get. Like if we had got Elise, he wouldn't be having the season that he's having now at Bayern. He wouldn't be having that season. He'd be tracking back and he'd be worn down and he'd be hamstring would be popping. So for me, the only for this summer, the only players I want signed are players that are in the Premier League already. I don't want players coming, apart from Gyökeres, I don't want players coming that, and he's played in England. He's played in the Championship. I don't want players that have to get used to the league and players that we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that anymore because he's left us in such dire straits that we don't have time for. And we're naming off all the players that we could get rid of. I mean, it's a total rebuild, like a total rebuild that has to be done here.
Said it all along, but I'll get slated for that though, mate.
It's a total rebuild because we're naming off we'd be quicker naming the players that we should keep. You know what I mean? Because the rest of the squad is just so average. It's so average. Trossard's average. Martinelli's average. Like you said, there's little bursts here and there. But he was electric before Arteta clipped his wings. He was electric before he clipped his wings.
No,
so many average players and so many players he's made average. And like who spends 105 million on a 6 and then changes his position? I mean, it's just insanity. It's pure insanity. Just play a double pivot if you really don't want to. You know, why? Most good managers, when you're a so-called title challenging team or a championship challenging team, you know, you sort of make you have all these amazing players, these attacking players. You sort of find a system that suits them. You don't make a system and then try and squeeze them into it. You know what I mean? Like the Brazil teams of the 60s or the 70s and stuff, they just got all these 11 players and said, well, what's the best way to fit these into the team that suits the players the most? You know what I mean? And you build around them. He has this rigid system and he just squeezes them into it. And okay, Ethan, I'm going to put you out right. And I know you're a number 10, but now I want you to spend 80% of the game tracking back. What is the point in playing him? There's no. You may as well have two right and a left back out the wing. Makes no sense.
It's like you touched on Ethan there, right? And I'm thinking to myself, you're dead right there, because if you look at Ethan, you can tell straight away it's not in his DNA to defend. He's not that type of player. Ozil weren't that type of player. You know, you see players that are just not naturally comfortable defending. So if Ethan was under another manager, that would be highlighted and they'd get the best of him going forward in the final third. But this guy is squeezing him out because he doesn't do the defensive part of the work.
It's shocking.
Not how can we make this guy better in the final third? You know, because some players are good going backwards and forwards. You can play Saka at left back. Ain't a problem.
Yeah, he played there plenty of times.
Yeah. Ethan, you can tell that he's not comfortable in the defensive area. So what you would have to do as a manager, you'd have to go, right, you're not comfortable there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn you into the best attacking final third player that I can possibly make you. But this guy won't do it. This guy will squeeze him out because he don't do the defensive part of the journey. And he's going to end up like Emil Smith-Rowe. Yeah. He'll loan him out and eventually he'll bomb him out. And that's
for about 20 million. For about 20 million as well.
This club in, I would say, less than 2 seasons, he'll be sold.
He will be. He will be. And you and me said this on Lee's in big agreement. Can you imagine if Ranieri went to Newcastle and worked under Eddie Howe? He would fucking ball out there, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He would be on fire.
Eddie Howe would turn around to him and say, no, it's okay then. Okay, we won't have you defending, but I'll tell you what I will do. You scratch my back, and the old back scratchers. Yeah. You scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours, right? I don't want you defending, but when that ball goes in the final third,
you work your magic.
You tearing the arse off of these.
Yeah, you go wherever you want to go to pick up the ball and then do what you do best.
Exactly, and that's what will happen to Ethan. You watch. Less than 2 years he'll be sold.
Guaranteed.
Put a little poll in the chat as well. I'm quite intrigued to see what the world-class chat are saying. I think of the 120 people who still got watching, I think 80 of the people are still in my chat. So I don't know if you're still on Jez, you might not see the poll. But I'm quite intrigued. Which one is better, 89 or winning the Champions League? It's up there now. And before we wrap up, because we will be wrapping up very soon, I'll say what the final stats were. So I'm quite intrigued with that. As well, saying it's the UEFA Champions League for me. We already had the league winning experience then, winning our first European Cup in 70 years. Will be a huge burden off our shoulders. Well, I think we won the cup winners, didn't we? In 94, beating Parma. I mean, you're probably on about the Fairs Cup, maybe. The other European one, bud. But yeah, I mean, either way, it's still a very long time. Little Tim's absolutely, man. We've got Richie Sam, big up brother as well. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't alive back then. I'd only just been born at 89. What a year! What a year to be born. Yeah, I was born into Arsenal being champions. So I'm quite buzzing for that. Prime, big up to you, Sam. Yeah, that's why that's the game that made him support Arsenal. Do you know what as well? My mate come round every now and then. One of my best mates, Lee. He just randomly texts me going, "Oh, do you fancy a few beers?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no worries." My missus just started the night shift that night, the Saturday, just gone. I was like, "Yeah, right, sweet, yeah, come round." Obviously, you know, that went on till spastic o'clock, you know, as they all do. And the first thing I do once we've had a couple of beers, we always naturally just turn the conversation onto Arsenal and that. And we always put on the 89 documentary. I must have watched that about 500 times. I love it. I do. Yeah,
Fever Pitch. If no one's seen the film Fever Pitch, you've got to watch it. You
Yeah,
have to
it really
watch it.
captures
If
the
you
film,
haven't seen it, you got to watch it because the act. I forget always who's the act. I forget his name. Always forget his name. The actor that
Colin
played
Firth and Mark Strong, isn't it?
Colin Firth, right? If you Colin Firth would if he was he'd be joining ours and Lee's channels, mate, because he was so like, oh, that's it, we've blown it.
Yeah.
And there's a part in the film when he says, when we make it 2-0, he turns around to his mate and he goes, you watch, they'll go up the other end and score now. How long's left? And that's typical Arsenal. Honestly, that is exactly how an Arsenal fan reacts.
It wouldn't surprise me if that actually was how he reacted in '89, because he's obviously, him and Mark Strong are massive Arsenal fans. It wouldn't surprise me if he just did go back to how we felt. Do you know what I mean? So because you get that bit of authenticity from it, didn't you?
Oh, it's a great film. I love watching it. It really makes me feel it. If you're, it makes the hairs stand on the back of my at the end now when they're all in the streets. It's just fantastic.
Prime, big up to you, brother. Off the bed, guys. Yeah, thanks for the show and education. Listen, big up as always, brother. Godfrey as well. Big up, man. Yeah, see Vigilante's there. So, who was it that put? There's a couple more questions to run through. Vigilante's got one in there, and another one from Lil Tim's, and then we'll wrap up, and then we'll do and see how many in the polls gone through. What we'll ask, we'll go back round to, because I think I asked Shane the last one. DJB, we'll get this one into you. To the panel, do you think Arteta will play any striker Berta buys in their correct position? It's clear Arteta won't want any striker brought in the summer. What do you reckon on that, DJB? And then we'll go Normski for the last one.
I personally think he hasn't got a choice other than not to play a striker as an out-and-out striker, because we've not had one since really he's been at the club. To be honest, he hasn't really signed a prolific striker, so he's under pressure now. This guy is under pressure to win a trophy. People might not realise it, but if he doesn't win a trophy, he knows he's under pressure. He ain't stupid. So if we bought a striker and paid top money for him, he's going to have to build a team around that striker. He's going to have to change the way he plays. He's got to, because we need to win silverware. If this Champions League goes tits up, we need to win silverware. So he will need to play the striker in his proper position. The only thing I will say, he will still try and justify playing Havertz. He will find a way to get Havertz in this team no matter what. And that's the worrying thing. That's the worrying thing for me. I don't know what the rest of the panel think.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, 100%, man.
We're on mute, Monsey.
Oh,
sorry, I didn't realise that. And I'm saying that could cause a lot of disruption, unnecessary disruption. Because if we do get in a top-class striker, then there's the whole thing of, right, what do we do with Havertz, yeah? Because he's going to either have to drop back in that 10 or whatever. Then what happens with Odegaard, or what happens with that who's playing in the 8? What's going to happen? It's just going to disrupt things. Arteta's going to have the gonads, yeah, to say, yo, we're going to be playing on all fronts. If we're sitting on the bench, fantastic. You can bring him off as an option, yeah? But if we go and get a top-class striker, then that top-class striker must play. Simple things. Berta will say, you got to play him, and you got to figure it out. Yeah, you figure it out, yeah? And we're going to definitely need a bigger squad, because there's and the fact that we're going to be competing against the likes of Liverpool, these guys ain't going to stop. You don't think they're just going to sit back with their feet and go, oh, well done. They're going to go again. He wants to go and win it again. They've got an incentive to go and get 21 league titles, right?
His job would be on the line as well, though, Nortsky, wouldn't it? Because you imagine the board gives Berta the money. They go and spend, I don't know, 80, 90, 100 million on a top striker, and this guy pulls him around all over the place and don't get the best out of him. Berta's going to go, yo.
Yeah, no, man.
He's going to go back to the Cronkies and he's going to go, look, I've done my bit.
Yeah.
I've done my bit. I've brought the striker to the club. This man now in charge is playing them out of position and not playing them. And we're like full from, come Christmas, we're like sitting off the top 4. So the Cronkies are going to go, right, no, that's it. Final straw, mate. He's had all the money. He's still not doing what's required. So I think he's got to play him. I think he's got to play the striker.
Yeah, no facts. And last question, we've got this comment to Normski from Lil Tim's. I believe winning the first of anything is always the hardest thing in football. It takes the burden off your shoulders. Even though we won 89, we wouldn't know the feeling unless we won the CL. Oh yes, what's this? What do you reckon on that, Norms?
I believe winning the first is one of the hardest things because it takes, even though we won 89, we wouldn't know the feeling unless we win this. Oh boy. I mean, yeah, because we don't know what it's like to win the Champions League.
Yeah. Very good point.
So yeah, bro. Listen, it's a hard one. Let's just go and win the Champions League, man. I just want to have that star over our badge. That's just what I want.
And to stop hearing all of these other fans saying Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. That's the one, isn't it?
If we do that as a figure of speech, Shane, as a figure of speech. He knows where I'm going with this one, isn't it? We go and build him a statue. Or what we can do, Shane. You know what we can do, Shane? If you want to get rid of him permanently, why don't we just immortalize Arteta? Just put him on there, pour a load of concrete over him.
We're salt gunners.
They get the old salt.
Yeah,
we'll all just turn up with a bit of table salt and just have at it. I closed as well my the poll right in there. So what did we have? What did we finish up on? So 23 people voted in the end, and it was actually quite a little bit closer than I thought. 65 of them for Anfield 89. And 35 of them thought the Champions League.
I thought Champions League would win.
Yeah, fair play to him. Yeah,
must be an older chat.
It's true what little Tim says. You don't know how that's going to get that vote.
Very true. And you know what just got me there was when you said when Norm's get the star over the crest. That's what nearly turned me. I went, you know what? It was so simple, but that made me go, oh, maybe Champions League actually.
The thing is, I was there when we lost it, and.
DJ, listen,
I was there in '89 when we was at Anfield, and I was there when we lost it. And I'll tell you what, that feeling I have never got over. I can't even talk about it. I've never watched it back since.
I haven't either.
I've never watched.
No, that's a lie. I've watched highlights. I have watched highlights. I have watched highlights.
I've never ever watched it back. It hurt me.
No, I have watched highlights.
This is what I'm saying. If we mess this Champions League up this year and we don't even give ourselves a chance of getting to the final, I'm telling you now, this manager to me is got to go.
There's too many pitfalls for him then after that. There's too many pitfalls for him. You know what I mean? There's all the things you've mentioned. Does he play the striker? Does he get this in? Do we get that in? Other teams strengthening. If he doesn't win it, he can't. He won't get past Christmas. He won't. Berta won't have that. He can't.
Maybe him. I mean, look, he's had end of the day, he's had 5 years, a lot of money spent on the club. And I think on the whole, I think as a fan, me personally as a fan and everyone else as fans, I think we've been pretty fucking patient with him. Excuse my language.
Really patient, but more than patient.
Very, very patient with this guy.
I had this out with someone, DJB. They said I'm a glory hunter, right? Because you want trophies. Right. And I said to them, listen, if I was like a Brighton fan and I started demanding trophies, that would be a glory hunter because they're not a trophy winning team. We're a trophy winning team. Waiting 5 years is more than patient. There's no other top team that would put up with that. Not one. If anyone in the chat can name a so-called top team, and I'm talking all European leagues, that would go 5 years without sacking a manager, there isn't one.
Yeah.
There isn't one.
If we was a team like, no disrespect, like Brighton, West Ham, and teams like this, and he had us finishing runners-up 3 seasons in a row.
Oh yeah, it'd be great.
Final. I'd be going, this manager's incredible.
Absolute genius. Yeah.
But when you're Arsenal, or if you're Man United or Liverpool and teams like this, you know, the expectations is completely different. It's completely different.
I mean, you're 750 million deep as well, DJB. Let's not forget the money. And let's not forget the fact that we are worse off now, as in average players, massive wage bill, tiny squad, to when he took over. So it's actually it's a total disaster. When you look at it as a whole, we've gone backwards. It's a total disaster from
100%. And the question marks with me, and I think you're the same as me, Shane. People are saying if we win the Champions League, will you still get rid of him? My answer to that is yeah, because I don't think he can push on from here.
No, it's just papering over the cracks.
I want a manager to win the Champions League and then push on.
And push on. And use that as a springboard. We're just going to fall off the cliff.
I don't want a manager to win the Champions League, paper over the cracks, put the demons to bed for a couple of years and win nothing, and then the demons come out of bed and go, "Oh, hang on a minute, we're back to square one again."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I want a manager that goes, right, yo, we've won the Champions League. I'm not stopping now. I'm going to now win the Premiership next season.
Yeah. No, I was saying you're right, because obviously if he wins the Champions League and you want him now to go and push, and it doesn't account for what has happened in the previous season. No. That is.
No, I mean, hats off for him for winning the Champions League. Give him all the plaudits you can have. But I want him now to turn around and say, we've won. Bit like Klopp, I've done everything I can at Liverpool. This is what I've done. See you later.
Yeah. No, facts. What I will do though, lads, is wrap it up there. Well, it's been an absolutely fucking lit stream. Big up to TJ Warren as well in the building, by the way. And he said we're 1 like away. I don't know if that still stands. 1 like away from 100, man. Got to be one of you in there. One of you are the 114 in the building. What we saying? Listen, thank you very much to every single one of you in the chat, the elite chat, man, the absolute world-class chat, as you always are, man. It's been a fantastic stream, and it's a shame, DJB, you just didn't make it in time for while I was going through the how long does it take to win the Premier League.
Time that I came on, mate. It's always a pleasure to share it. Thank you for having me on, Aaron, and as usual, the chat. What can I say? I thank all the streams I go on. I always thank people that put their time and effort in to watch the content and contribute. So thank you all the chat, positive or negative, as long as it's not abusive. I'm all for it. Shane, I'm glad your channel's taken off, my friend, and always a pleasure to share the airways with you and you, Knowles, as well, mate. Awesome. And I've got to go and have my cereals, man. I am getting a bit hungry, actually.
Someone mentioned in the chat earlier on about this.
I've got to have my brown flakes in a minute. I'm telling you that now.
Who's live that we like? So I see TJ. You said you're going live. He's going
to go live in a bit, innit? But
I can't find. I'm still a little new to what do you call it? Like redirecting things. It's only the second time I've done it.
Lee's off the airways. They've got a lot of problems abroad at the moment.
My missus and my daughter are meant to be flying out there on Thursday.
I've not seen the news because I've been out on son's birthday. Is it like a cyber attack?
Parts of Europe. No, they thought that because it all went down, but I don't know. They still don't know from what I've heard, but. Yeah, everywhere blacking out.
Lee put something out on the community page. Just
because we couldn't do the channel tonight.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to find your thing. Sorry, TJ. Well, otherwise I'd have redirected that. I don't really know because there's nothing coming up on there. Hold on.
I don't know if he's actually got to go live and then you.
Yes,
TJ, send that to me on Instagram, TJ.
I think he has to have gone live, Aaron. I think he actually has to have gone live for you to see it.
Upcoming stuff. TJ just sent me a text. If I catch that redirect, you can send it to me on Instagram.
You say check your WhatsApp.
Yeah, it sent me on WhatsApp, but I don't know how to get it from here onto there. Like I'll have to do all of the numbers. If we just quickly, TJ, copy and paste that into Instagram.
Over there, man.
You know what I mean? I can do that. Yeah. We'll do that. Hold on one second. He sent that to me on Instagram. Send you a link. What we're doing here? Yeah, do that. Yeah. That's it. Who's that? Just sent that. Little Tim's. Yeah. Put the link up and then I'll copy and paste it. That's it. Here we go. Right. Hold on. We got this on here. Let's see what we can do here. Give us 2
Just
seconds.
sent that on Insta. He said.
Is this TJ Warren? He's got his own channel, is he?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's a geezer, right? Let's have a look.
Get us on, geezer. Get us on.
Was that the one? Was that one that Lee went over last week?
The TJ Warren. Yeah,
from other channels. Let's put that in there. There we go.
Big up, my friend.
That's how we're doing it. And then
That's it.
save.
American waffle.
Right, that's all. That should be all done, TJ. So yeah, everyone that's finishing here, go and show TJ the love. And anytime, brother.
Team's legend. Little
Am I
team's
going to
legend.
Paris next week? No, I was gonna. I didn't have a ticket for that one, but I was gonna go out there and get one anyway, and just pay for it. But my missus' new job, 4 on, 4 off, and yeah, it just hasn't worked out. But I've said to her, I was like, listen, listen, love, listen, Miss Aaron, listen, sweetheart. In that final, should we get there? Yeah. Woo. I was like, I'm sorry, babe, but you're gonna have to book a couple of days off of work. I don't care whether it's a good or a bad thing like that. If we get the Champions League final, I'm fucking going. I was like, you know what I mean? Or find yourself another geezer. You know what I mean?
I've already mapped out a cheap route, Aaron. I've already mapped out the cheapest way to get to get to the final.
Oh well, yeah, that's
and it ain't staying in Munich, mate. It cost you fortunes, but there are ways. But yeah, if you upset the missus, Aaron, she'll just take away your back scratches, mate, and you'll be that's it. Imagine that. Imagine no back scratches all night.
She won't scratch my back with them. She just whack me with them, innit?
You'll be like that. You'll be rubbing. I'll tell you, you'll be like Baloo the bear in the Jungle Book, mate, rubbing up against a tree.
Bare necessities.
I've got him all the time, man.
Bare necessities and all that. Don't worry, listen.
Necessities.
You can take all of these ones, mate. Don't worry, I've got fucking spares, mate. There's about 100 in this house. You know what I mean? I've got secret
back scratches. Your back scratches are like my reading glasses around. I've got fucking reading glasses everywhere, mate, because that's the one thing I can't. As you get older, I can handle anything. The eyes going is just the biggest thing that's done me. So I've got reading glasses everywhere. Reading glasses in the kitchen. Where's my readers? Where's the readers? I'm sorry.
my old man's the same. Yeah, when he's looking for his reading glasses, everything he buys, like clothing, right, has to have about 1,000 pockets. Oh, and he's like that. He's like his own little drum, yeah. When he's like, "Where's my glasses, son?" And he just starts going into like patting all down. I'm like, "You're on your fucking head, you silly sod."
No, we've got Blue and Tarzan there.
Honestly, mate, he's like the drum of that Cadbury's advert, you know, the Gorilla Drumming. That's what he's like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm on about, but the Bill Collins song, isn't it?
Yeah.
He just quite banging himself doing that. I'm thinking, you all right there, Dad? You look like you're a bit special, son. What's going on? He's having a fit or something. Yeah, he's like, oh, you're on mute, son. Don't worry, son. Yeah. Oh, where's my glasses, son?
I know what I am planning in the summer, though, Shane. While you're on, I'm planning on coming over to Ireland because I want to go.
Oh, lovely!
Ireland. Yeah, nice. I want to go to Ireland. I really want to go to Ireland. There's a lot, like all the countryside of Ireland, you know.
Yeah, that's where I am, up in the stakes, man.
Proper Ireland, you know, not the.
Yeah, man. Don't go near Dublin.
Yeah, where the lakes are and all of that.
Yeah, man. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, we're going, aren't we? Timsy Sam, we are going. Trust me.
Yeah, I've got.
We will be there. We will be there. Darren, is Darren in the chat? Who sits next to me still? Dazza smoked you. I think you're still in the chat. We are definitely both going. Should we get there? Whereabouts says Dazza smoked you? Here we go. Dazza is chief mod. Yeah, we will be going. Big up to you, Dazza. Big up to you, Dazzle. We will be there, and we'll have to obviously have a little meet up with DJ B. Do you know what I mean? A couple of beers like we're doing tomorrow. I'm going to nip round and
you're coming.
Yeah, of course I will, mate. Yeah. Pop round and say hello. We'll have a beer, mate.
We should be in the ground by about 7-ish, I suppose, because we're having a few meeting outside. We're meeting old Potsy and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. I won't say where. I know where you're going. Yeah.
Come along. I'll message you.
Yeah, it depends what sort of time I'll be getting there, but yeah, if not, at least minimum, yeah, we'll walk around and we'll have a couple of beers. Where you sit, mate, innit? I'll nip round to you. It's only about 5 away from me. I didn't realise how close you was. I'm sure it's only about 5 or 6 away. But
we're in the posh then. We don't rough it with Kenny Ken and Potsy, do we? Not in the bottom.
Yeah, not in the bottom, man. Yeah. We're in the posh seats, man. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you know, hello. Or snob seats.
Cool sandwich.
No, but listen, don't forget, everyone. Everyone's links are pinned in the chat, and they are also in the description, man. Make sure you go and follow every single person here. And on that note, we will leave. Thank you very much, everyone in the chat. You've been absolutely phenomenal, man. We got the
big up
100
everyone.
likes, and you got me over 700 subs as
Bless
well.
you all.
Do the same for all the lads, and we will catch you again very, very, very
Enjoy
soon.
the
So have
game
a wonderful
tomorrow night.
evening. Yeah, man. Enjoy the game. Come on, you Gooners. Arteta out.